Hello, friends. Welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to a code review stream and possibly a pair programming stream. We'll see how things go. In the show today, you will be able to redeem your seedlings. So if you look in the Twitch chat, there's this little thing down here. Well, you can't see that. Let me show you. Right about there. These are your seedlings, and you get these by watching the channel. And if you scroll all the way down, you can click this, How to Earn Seedlings. It tells you how you can get them. But today, you need to already have them. So if you don't have seedlings, you're not going to be able to redeem a code review. But the idea is that these code reviews are an award, a benefit of actually watching the channel, because seedlings are 10,000 points. Now, I know that this is paused right now. You cannot redeem it. We're going to enable it whenever we get started. But that's how you'll do it. And that's pretty much it. If it can be a JavaScript project for the most part, all that good stuff. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say about that. Cheers, everyone. Welcome to the show. I can't see how many people have. At least I don't know of a way to see that. You would have to tell me. But is anybody new here? Can we just get a smile in the chat if you're new here? Like this? Smile? Smile? Theater mode. What's up, Jonas? I'm doing pretty good. Smile. Nice. Nice. You're not new here. Daniel Garden with the gifted subs. Welcome, Daniel Garden. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you, but I really appreciate that. Wow, with the gifted subs to Metal, and that's Rad Cullen and Ricky and How to Code and Raven Master. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daniel Garden. Thank you for being here. Great. Welcome, everyone. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna play the drop game. Let me make this a little. Whoa. Hey, Olaf Berserker. Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate you. Yeah, let's do it. Everybody in the chat, type !drop me, and that will drop your avatar. So here I am. If your avatar lands here, you'll get a little seedling with your name on it. I was not lucky enough for that to happen. Let's see what happens. That'll be a tiny one. Great work so much, Clark. I can't quite read that name. Bonnie? Brownie? I don't know. Nassar, good job. Good job, Robin. That's a good drop. That's a great drop. Great drop, Robin. Yes. So this is the drop game. You can play that whenever you'd like to, actually. There are no limits. Just don't spam the chat. We should have a timeout. Yeah, so I mean, technically, you can only drop every 30 seconds. Because there's a 30-second timeout. But if you drop, then you wouldn't be able to say another message or of some sorts. I don't know. People might have landed in the garden. It's very busy right now. It's very busy. Cool. You may have noticed Hey, Andrew, you be careful. You may have noticed my overlay has a new thing. Watch. So like if I move my mouse away from it, it hides the nav bar, the action bar. Somebody suggested that a long time ago. I didn't know how I felt about it back then, but I think I like it. I implemented that this morning. Also, I did my best to implement it might have been you, Andrew. It might have been you. So thank you, Andrew, for the suggestion years ago, months ago. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I did my best to improve the performance of the overlay as well. Oh, thank you very much, Daniel Garden. Yes, this is a moth. It seems like this shirt would be glow in the dark, but I don't think it is. So yeah, the performance of the chat overlay should be good. So I mean, the way I've gotten around that is I'm actually only saving the last 200. I'm only showing the last 200 messages, but whenever I search across messages, it search acrosses all messages that have been sent. So we'll see. I don't know. We've got some follows. Welcome to the Coding Garden. Thank you very much, Devesh, for that follow, and A Real Code World, and Jonas, and Bruto1. Thanks for being here. Very much appreciated. It searches acrosses. Searches acrosses all of the messes. And thank you, Theater Geek. I like my shirts. All right, let's say hi to everybody. And then we'll talk about the overlay, but we gotta say hi first, because that always takes a little bit. So, in the chat, if you type hi, hello, hey, morning, afternoon, evening, What else? Howdy, coding hiyo, vohio. If you say any of these things, I will acknowledge you. I will I will say hi to you directly. Let's go back to 12 minutes ago. Fishy Coding said, "Hey everyone. Great job, Fishy Coding." And we'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that I made this so that it picks up the first time that you said hello. So can we all just congratulate Fishy Coding for being the first person to say hello today? Why hello friend is benevolent. Okay, we can put it in the regex. I forget what the code is. Coding hello friend. You're right. Well, that works too. So we'll say or coding. What? It just moved my cursor. Jello? Oh, buddy. I've broken it. Actually, I could just search for coding. Well, no, but then there wouldn't need to be a word boundary. Right? I don't know. That should do it. Cool. Coding / find some one or more word. We're going to leave it. Hello, Fishy Coding. Thank you for being here. What's up, World of Paul, and Greeny, and Blue, and Howard, and Orbite, and Sequel Gordster, and Incog. First stream. Welcome, Incog. Thanks for being here. NovaScript. Hey, how's it going, NovaScript? Lakshman, hello. Welcome to the show. More content. What's up, This Code Rocks, and Happy Jojo. Hello. What's up, Alka, and Depopom, and the She-Boss. Hello, and Bambi, and MB Dealer, and Masaldo, and Unfair, and Quilenza, and Daniel Garden, Andrew Lane, and Karen, Kayash, and me. It's me. Look, it's me. Hello. What's up, Yossi? And Coding Pasta, and Mark, and Draculente. Shines Love, how's it going? Hello, Casper, and Battleframe, and NG Berman, and Sawtoothid, and Subin, and Richard Me, and PCM, and Aaron, and ACM. I've become addicted to your streams and videos. Please help. Well, I think as long as you're learning something, it's probably okay. I would say just don't passively watch. Try to write code and implement things. I don't know. What's up, Cheo? Welcome to the show. Hello, Pakfaz, and Karate Mump, and Awaited, and Aries, and Mirsha, and Chicken Sandwich, and Bato. How's it going? Hello, Too Bleak, and Theater Geek, and Procrastinating Watching CJ. Welcome to the show. Hello, Silver Design, and Don, and Maud, and Catherine, and Electrothermal, and Jeff. Welcome. This is my break timer. Let's take a quick stretch. Hello, Greg. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Anestra, how's it going? Hello to Fleximaman, who says, hello, mate. Glad to be here again after I've missed so many streams. Love your work. Keep spreading the love. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Hello, Silver Feather. Happy Friday to you as well. I forgot, it's Friday. We should be happy. It's almost the weekend. Cheers, everyone. Check. No, it's perfect. Hello, Marlon. And Jonas. And Aknat. What's up, Classic Gaming Lab? And Ced Le Penguin. Hello. Welcome to the show. What's up, yes, sir? And the bosses. Welcome. Hello, Walpolia. May your Wi-Fi signal always be strong and your bundle times low. And your bundle size is low, too, I think. But thank you. Thank you for the kind words. How's it going? What's up, Ala Tony? Welcome to the show. Hello, Procrastinator Mastermind. What's up, The Real Pygon? Hello. I like your image. Hello, Utori. What's up, Voice of Grog? And Mesley. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. Hello, I am and Dev. What's up, Bugal and Turtle Monkey? Good morning. Julian says, if anyone wants a code review, but doesn't have enough seedlings, I will volunteer 10,000 of mine. 10,000 seedlings. First come, first serve. Cool. I don't know if the mods saw my message earlier, but if you haven't yet, could one of the mods create a channel on Discord for discussing, sharing, and gifting seedlings? Yeah, so Greg has seedlings too. And thank you very much, Ace Mods. Tier 3 sub, Ace Mods 101. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. That's a big big support. I appreciate it. So the channel is called Seedlings. If you're on the Discord, and you want a code review but you don't have the seedlings, you can discuss it there. So that's a thing. And I think there are quite a few people that have enough seedlings that are willing to offer them up. hello, I'm Tom Eddy. And PPG, welcome. Hello, Ezra. And Ahmed. And Harshit. And Poilino, welcome. And hello, the Ox. Terrazoid, how's it going? It's good to see you. What's up, Sven? Hello, hello. Otter Pala, buenos dias. Hello, welcome to the show. What's up, Hax? And Cheyenne. And Robin. And Cabro HD. And Durbin. And Roger. And Sasan. The gang's all here. I appreciate you all for being here. Thanks for being here. Hello, Natural Conspiracy, who says, I'm not new here, Lamau. I know, I've seen you before, but welcome. What's up, PS Panasar? Aftant, who says, how am I today? I'm doing pretty good. I woke up really early. I woke up at like 4:30 a.m. And I didn't know what to do with myself, so I coded. That's how most days go, I guess. What's up, Reekster? I'm doing good. Hello, Lied. And Prasanth? Hey, Coding Butter! Thank you very much. Thanks for the gifted subs. Congrats. Hey, I don't think we've seen I'm Mattia in a while, unless I'm Mattia is here today. But thank you for those gifted subs. Yeah, and shout out to Coding Butter. We rated them a while back, probably like a month ago, I guess. But they're streaming more, so definitely check them out. What's up, Admiral and Ree and Ace Mods? Welcome, welcome. Hello, King Body and Folky Bits and Darn Spotted Cat. What's up, Undefined Nolish and Kurdo and Elkotron and Olaf. Whoa now. Callum with 1,000 bits just got a new job, so sharing the love. Nice, Callum. Glad to hear it. Can we get some hearts in the chat for, first of all, for all the gifted subs, but also for Callum. Congrats, Callum. Starting a new job. That's big news. Big news. Hello, Wilf John and Mutant Spew. Little Hero Spark, how's it going? What's up, Kevin? And Samak and someone amazing. Welcome to the show. What's up, Albatron? And Nassar and Function Jarvis. Good evening. Hello, DVMon. And Jamoke Dev and I'm Flippy. And Rami, who says, hope you are great as always. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. What's up, Snipe? Whoa, look at that. Humber with the Twitch Prime sub. Achatox with the gifted subs. You all are very kind. Oh, you're right. I need to plug my MacBook in. Who was that? Cheyenne. There might have been somebody else that told me to. Oh, that's my head. That's way too close to my head. The Real Pygon, thank you for the bits. So much love in the chat today. I appreciate you all. And thank you very much, Achatox. Fishy Coding with 100 bits. We are already at a level 4 hype train. Yeah, it was giant, CJ. It got way too close. Cool. What's up, Friday? Hello, Achatox. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for all those gifted subs. Very much appreciated. Hello, Aaron. And Coding Butter. Welcome, welcome. What's up, Gokai? And Leichy says, good day. It's still not in the... I need to add good day to the regex. Hey, Julian, thank you for the 50 bits. And what else happened? Olaf gifted a sub. Andrew with the 15 bits. Where are those? Oh, they're Seth Hype Trains. Nice, nice. Hello, Slims. I'm doing good. There's a fly on my head. Did it actually land on my head? I don't see it. But yeah, we didn't add G'day to the regex. I've been pretty good. You might be available for a code review today if I finish this game of League in time. Nice, cool. Yeah, well, it'll be a few minutes before we get started. Hey, Jamoke Dev. Thank you very much for the 300 bits. Yay, hype train. Hello, you Monica and Die Gaming. Fantasy Teapot, how's it going? Hello, Bruno and Pablo and William Cameron. Who says, how are we doing today? I think we're doing good. Procrastinator Mastermind with the 10 bits. Thank you all very much. You can remove the need for a word boundary at the end of coding by adding /b coding at the very end of the regex. That makes sense. It'd be or the word coding. I'll take that into account and use it next time. Hello, and thank you very much, Effie, for the tip. What's up, Moscafo? And Zim Noise. What's up, Eric? And Clink, welcome to the show. Hello, Brayson. Hello, Codemart. Guan the Third, and iMod, and Snoozik. Amber, who says, I really enjoyed your Twitter clone video on Coding Train. Nice. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a while ago, but it was definitely a fun one. Hello, Sarab. Player, how's it going? Dad of Dom says, I guess you'll see this 8 minutes after I type it. You were close. It was 7 minutes. 7 minutes after you typed it. What's up, Qued? Hello, Bippin and Hemicodes and Greg. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Welf, Sky Color, and Abagon Blaster, who says, "Hi, CJ and fellow CJ lovers." Thank you for being here. Howard with the 50 bits. More, please. Thank you very much. What's up, Jaywalker and Element? How's it going? Hello, Sane and Arul and Cordy, Dev Henrique and Arcool and Cloudy Ketchup. I don't know if I've ever had Cloudy Ketchup, but welcome. Hello, Nina Sorar. What's up, Impy? Hi there. Lubom says, "I'm new here and I have a quick question. I want to scrape a website that loads different content for mobile and desktop resolutions. Can you suggest a way to scrape the mobile version with Node?" It really depends. So they might be showing the mobile version just with media queries. And if that's the case, you just need to figure out what are those selectors based on when the app is in mobile. So you can mimic this by, well, for one, changing your screen size, but if you can use like the mobile emulator in the browser, and typically that will trigger mobile styles, and then you can figure out what your selectors are. But if it's not based on styles, then that means the server side. Hey, Andrew, who says, "Can you add Peepo Hey?" Is that Peepo Hey? I think it's Peepo Hey. Peepo Hey regex. We need a whole suggestions list of things to add to the regular expression. I probably should. There's a lot of emotes we should do. What's up, Procrastinator Mastermind? We love code and CJ. Well, thank you very much. Agitox! 500 bits. I save money from buying the correct laptop charger. Enjoy these subs and bits. Very nice. Yeah, the other situation you might be running into is if the server looks at the user agent header and then responds with different HTML based on if the user agent says it's mobile or it's desktop. If that's the case, then you're going to need to spoof your user agent header to get the mobile app version, or the mobile site version. Callum, we're pretty global. Can we get some foreign language support in the regex? What's up, DBMon? I think so. Like we agreed with the mods. Thank you all for this hype. We did it, level 5. But I've talked with the mods. We've agreed that we don't want to have other languages in the chat because it gets hard to mod. However, I think I'm okay with greetings that are in other languages because those are easy enough to mod. I think. We could be opening up a whole can of worms. I'll have to discuss with the mods. But yeah, we could have like ciao and hello and hola and all those different things. But thank you all for the hype train. Very much appreciated. And Lubomir, feel free to ask on our Discord if you need more clarification, but it should be possible. What's up, Andres, who says, "I wake up around 4:30 a.m. every day. I normally grab a little snack, and then I go out for a quick run." I do not do that. Hey, Artan Zanan, thank you very much for that subscription. Much appreciated. Namaste, Mr. Knows, or Mr. Who Knows. I usually wake up at about 7. And sometimes I'll eat like a granola bar. And I do not run. But welcome, Andreas. Mr. Who Knows, how's it going? Hello, Drills, who says, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. How are you doing, sir? I don't know if I pronounced that right, or if I sang it right. I'm doing pretty good. What's up, Ram? Revive Newt is here! Revive Newt really likes to make an entrance. Thank you very much for the gifted sub, Revive Newt. Oh, congrats to Elite InfoSec. I remember wait, was that them? I feel like there was somebody like that that was here the other day. I don't know. But thank you, Revive Noon. How you doing? Thanks for being here. We're almost caught up on hellos. Let's just start up the Newt for now, because we're chilling. Chilling for a second. Newts, yeah? Yeah. Newts. Newts? Newts. Normal people, hello. Revive Newt. You get a sub, and you get a sub, and you get a sub. Yeah. Cool. Whew. Welcome, Revive Newt. Hello, Ram. What's up, SPD? How's it going? Hello, DS Legends and Azimuth Live. Welcome, welcome. Shot in the Dark says, "You got me addicted to Clash of Code." I think that's happened for a lot of people, because I personally was addicted to Clash of Code when I first started doing it. I've gotten over that now. I'm no longer addicted to it, but for a good 2 weeks, I was, whenever I had some spare time, I was doing Clash of Code. And I know that's happened with a lot of other people too. Like, I think SPD that happened with too. Yeah. Hello, Rowfields. Well, I guess it's a programmer thing. We like solving problems. It's competitive. I don't know. But hello, Rowfields. And yeah. Here's another regular expression suggestion. Yeah, I think this is what BV mentioned. Because you do or. Yeah, that's the one. Welcome, the original CMJ Chris Jones. Hello, HVBO. Any advice to be really consistent with keep to learning code and doing things? I guess if you can't naturally do it, then you probably want to have some sort of schedule, some sort of routine. You say, like, every day at this time, I'm going to do a coding challenge. Every day at this time, I'm going to work on my project for at least 2 hours. Every day at this time, I'm going to do this. So, I mean, that can help, especially if you don't have that kind of discipline already. What's up, Navi? And Falcon? Does hello friend... Yeah, we added it. What's up, Lutidium Vinidium? I want to create a bot for helping me be more productive. Any recommendations on how I should build it? Similar to what I was just talking about, it could send you a text throughout the day that says, hey, are you doing this thing right now? Or it could send you a text that says, respond with the current thing that you're working on, and you can keep that log somewhere. Or it doesn't have to be a text. It could, like, I don't know, be a Discord message or something. I don't know. What's up, William Cameron? We did it, everyone. We said hello to all the peoples. Watch this. Click that. Look how fast that was. I don't know if anybody has been paying attention to how long it takes for the computed property to change from hellos to actual messages. But that was fast. Yeah, see? Andrew says, Pog you. Yeah, procrastinating writing a bot that stops you. Yeah, you could do it. So if anyone hasn't seen Michael Reeves, he does very silly things, but you could do something like program something to tase you if you don't have the right motivation, or something to like shoot you with an airsoft gun or something like that. So fast. Yeah. And check this out. We can filter to the follows. Mainly, it's pretty instant. It's kind of like the animation that needs to happen. Optimization. All right, and thank you to all the new follows. Snuzik, thanks for being here. What's up, Squish Monster and Amber and Bazog? Welcome. Hello, Yaya and Shop Tech and Jason. Hello, Homida. Hey, streamer. How's it going? What's up, Axilius? You missed your second hello. Yeah, my regex only catches the first one now. What's up, Sane? The Lizard, this is Revive Newt. Revive Newt is on our screen. How did I speed the overlay up? Which overlay? Oh, nice. That's good to hear, Revive Newt. I didn't know you were streaming. You did a code kata. Very cool. Your hellos were not in the list. Well, Mr. Berman, did you say hello? Yeah. No, so one thing I did this morning is I found a Twitch channel where the chat was just unreadable. It was actually like a Russian language channel. But I hooked my chat overlay up to it just to see how it would handle it. And it was okay. Okay, so there's definitely something wrong with this computed property. I tried to add like my own custom debounce function. And that's broken, because you can see anytime I try to type up there, it was there. I think NG Berman, I probably said hello to this one. Oh, but we updated the overlay, so I only look at your first message. So if you said hello again, I would not have caught that message. That's why they're not in the list, because I said hello to this one. Can we get a replay? Somebody clip it. Somebody go back in time and clip it. I'm pretty sure I said hello to NG Berman. But yeah. So I mainly did that because people were gaming the system. They were like saying hello again so that I would acknowledge them again, and that's not cool. I mean, I'm happy to say hi. What's up, rollers? Hey, Sonaluca, thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub. The lizard is the Revive Newt, in honor of Revive Newt. This is Revive Newt. Crafty. Django is good. All right, I'm going to talk about like what's in my overlay really quick, and then we're going to get started on code reviews. Awaited, thank you very much for the hydrate. Cheers. World of Paul, thank you for that stretch as well. This is not going to work. Sad life. Wait, what's not going to work? the hello filter is off now. I see all messages now. I see all messages. What do I think about the new macOS icons? I haven't seen them. I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about all the things that are on my screen. But before I do that, and before I forget, let's say thanks to all these wonderful people that have supported me. Cool. Nolan subscribed with Twitch Prime 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure I wasn't streaming whenever they sub, so I appreciate you. Thank you for that. So Much Clark also resub for 2 months when I wasn't streaming. Thank you very much, So Much Clark. John Ada 32 minutes ago with the 3-month Twitch Prime resub. Daniel Garden with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much, Daniel Garden. Olaf with the Twitch Prime sub. Ace Mods with the Tier 3 sub. Tier 3. Coding Butter with the 5 gifted. Thank you very much, Coding Butter. Callum with the 1,000 bits. Amber with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. Achatox with the 5 gifted subs. Real Pygon with the 500 bits. Fishy Coding with the 100 bits. Julian Nichols with the 50 bits. Revive New with more gifted subs. Thank you very much, Revive New. Olaf with the gifted sub. Andrew with the 15 bits. Jamoke Dev with the 300 bits. Procrastinator Mastermind with the 10 bits. Howard with the 50 bits. Andrew with the 10 bits. Procrastinator Mastermind with the 100 bits. Agitox with the 500 bits. You all gave me a lot of bits. Thank you all for the bits. Callum with the 100 bits. DV Mom with the 10 bits. Airton Zanon with the Tier 1 sub. And just now, Agitox upgraded from Twitch Prime to a Tier 1 sub. Very cool. Funny Dude with the gifted subs. You're just throwing money at me. Revive Newt, thank you very much for those 10 gifted subs. Santa Luca with the Twitch Prime sub. Revive Newt with 6 more gifted subs. And then Funny Dude with the 10 gifted. I think there's a battle right now. That's why that happened, probably. I'm pretty sure that... Yeah. So look at this. Revive Newt is beating Funny Dude by 1. By 1 gifted sub. The war has begun. Yeah. But thank you all for your kindness. I don't think I missed any other messages in the bits. I think we're good. All right. What now? Let's talk about my overlay here. So, you can see that some people's messages have a country flag, like Alka's, who's from the US, and Revive New lives in Japan, and Lutidium Vanadium is in India. And Funny Dude, thank you very much for the gifted sub. It's a draw. We can leave it there. It's a draw. And to Mitzik, very cool. Thank you very much, Funny Dude. And GM Awesome from the Philippines. And who else? ACM from India as well. Who else? Infi, who's in Germany. So if you want to get that going in the chat. Oh, and Humida is here from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. It's a tie. So you can do ! Country followed by your 2-character country code. 2 characters. The 2 code. Don't use the 3 code, use the 2 code. And that will put your country flag next to your name, like that. And then the other thing is the icon. And for that, you can go to this webpage. So there's the Font Awesome brand cheat sheet. And if you go here, this is just a list of a bunch of different brands and such. And you can pick any one of these, and you can put it next to your name. So like Coding Pasta is view. Revive Newt. How many are you gifted? 2. Thank you very much. And congrats to Coffee Boy. And who else was that? Orange Chanel. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you for the gifted subs. Okay, yeah, so you can pick anything from this list. Let me see what I'm going to pick today. Scroll. We'll go with this. I don't know if it worked. Aviato. So yeah, pick any name from this list, and then in the chat you can do !team followed by that name. Make sure there's only 1 space, and then that will put that icon next to your name. As you can see, Alka is on Team NPM. Funny Dude is gifting 5 subs. Thank you very much, Funny Dude, for the gifted subs. Oh, buddy. Oh, spaces are removed? I had no idea. Okay. Can I retire based on my Twitch and YouTube income? Nope. So, first of all, I make $0 on YouTube because I have ads disabled. And you can get a rough estimate of how much money I make based on the bits you see on the screen and based on the number of subs that I have. But it's definitely a good amount of money, but I could not retire. I could, I'd have to do streams every single day for like the rest of my life. But yeah. Team CJ? I don't know. What would that logo be? Oh, look at that. Amand has the black tie logo. Little Hero Spark has the code pin one. Yeah. Mods and only mods cannot reply to other mods with the new... What? Mods can't reply to other mods? Is that really a thing? Oh, that's true. But I only have, like 20 YouTube members. I have about 1,060 Twitch subscribers. Yeah. So. My coding heart. Okay, we should get started. We got a couple of follows. Thank you very much to Short Fried for that follow. And Denny Quintono, thank you very much. And we got a few redemptions, so let's do these. Kane Miz, thank you for that host. Much appreciated. Posture check. Stand up straight. Natural conspiracy. Cheers. Oh, it's FFZ? I guess I did that. I don't know. ACM, thank you very much. PCM Kamada. Cheers. NG Berman. Cheers as well. Thank you for the posture check. Wait, somebody said something about what? I mean, that's usually what happens. People say things about things. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about this really quick. So, all of the overlays you see on my screen, including this little newt here, are OBS browser sources. So, OBS is the software I use to broadcast to Twitch. And a browser source basically lets you put in a web page and it overlays it on all of your other sources. So I have a source that's a camera, a source that is my screen output, and then I have a source that is a web page, and it's set to have a totally transparent background. So it's literally just a web page. Oh, much love, Rhino. Thank you very much for the bits. Cool. I think I did this posture check. I guess we'll do the stretch. Thank you very much. P1 Simba, cheers. Thanks for being here. And I am. Cheers. No, so I'm not doing Newbie Tuesdays. I want to revive that series eventually. I just have to figure some things out. But if you're not familiar with that, you can search it on YouTube. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to enable the code review redemption. So those of you that want a code review, get ready. Get ready to redeem, because the first person to redeem, we will do that code review. Let's do this. Code review unpaused. And you should be ready. So you should have a link to... Oh, that already. Already we have 4. So anyone that was expecting to use someone else's points... Rickroll code review. Okay, so it's sold out. We've already done it. But we are going to do code reviews again on the 28th. So we're doing it every 2 weeks, basically, every other week. So if you didn't get a chance today, you'll get a chance next time. Also, if you just we have a channel on Discord called Project Feedback. And if you don't specifically want feedback from me, you just want some feedback in general, feel free to post there as well. I realize there's a lot of people that want their code to be reviewed and stuff like that, but I'm doing the best that I can. Alrighty, so Lechi has his very first one. It's called Hype Corner API. Let's check it out. And also, Rick and Rage, thank you for the follow. Thanks for being here. Wait. Undefined nullish with a focus mode. Cool. We'll use it. We will use it. So Hype Corner API Orchestra. This is the orchestra that handles blacklisting and orchestration of channels. Check out the Hype Corner bot here. Cool. Odds on a Rickroll. People taking bets. Check out hypecorner.tv, a live instance of this. I'll check it out. Install it, run it. API isn't documented. Cool. So, Lechi, shoot me a DM on Discord if you can. But first of all, do you have a particular area of the code you'd like me to focus on? Second of all, do you want to join a voice chat so we can talk about this stuff? You don't have to, but if you want to, we can. I think that's it. Those are the two questions I have for you. Yes and yes. Cool. Seraphim, thank you very much for the resub. Who says, thank you for the great stream. So you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm interested in the website. So the stream is currently offline. Okay, so this is a bot that I guess was running for King George. Interesting. Interesting. It's a whole lot. Bot crashed. No worries. Cool. So let me get that set up. Cool. Next code review will be Friday the 28th is the plan right now. I could review C code. I'm not a C developer. I've written C before. I can give you my honest opinions, but I don't know it. Your best bet for reviews for me are JavaScript related things, and that could be anything, front end, back end. Stream idea: CJ tries a language blindly. Hello, Lechi. And actually, yeah, let me clone their repo locally, and then we'll talk about it. How often, though, you can review code in terms of problem solutions rather than individual lines of code. Right. So you can look at overall approach rather than the code itself. And thank you, Incog. Much appreciated. Gaming CJ. Oh yeah, it's me, Gaming CJ with the headphones on. Code reviews, episode 3. Okay. I'm gonna start up a live share session. Now, I am not going to share the live share session in the chat because the last time that happened, too many people joined and my computer got really, really slow. But I will post the link to the GitHub repo. What about gaming? When are we going to get a CJ Fall Guy stream? So here's the thing. I was watching, what's his name? I totally forgot his name. But he was playing Fall Guys with Kit Boga and Seth Drums last night, and it was really fun. It was really fun to watch. It was a great time. And I'm tempted... Milton, that's him. And I am tempted to download the game. The thing is, I'm not much of a gamer. I am not much of a gamer. Revive Newt. What's happening? 6 gifted subs. Thank you very much for finding it. I appreciate you. Oh, buddy. Okay, and Revive Newt says, okay, I'm done now. Thank you very much, Revive Newt, for the gifted subs. Oh, buddy. Okay. Cool. And I'm going to go ahead and give Lechi a call. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh. Okay, hello?
Hello.
Hi, can you count to 10 for me so I can do a quick sound check?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I think that's good. Can everyone in the chat let me know? Awesome. So, I guess were you able to join the live share session?
I just needed to sign into GitHub,
Okay.
so I'm joining it now.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'm in the live share now.
Awesome. So where should we start? And I guess do you can you give us a quick overview of like what this project is?
Okay.
I read a little bit about it, but
So this project is mimicking a feature that was in Mixer actually. So Mixer had this channel called the Hype Zone, which would follow players of Rainbow Six Siege and other competitive games and find people who are close to winning the game.
hmm,
It would then automatically host that channel and bringing a group of people to watch. So it was quite nice when you're a small streamer and you just suddenly got a pop of about 10 extra people while you're about to win a game. So the API, the way it works is that I have the orchestra, which is what we're going to be looking at today,
okay.
which handles what channels to host and handles the displaying of the website with WebSockets and that. And then I got a backend OCR part, which downloads the stream, reads the screen using optical character recognition, and sees who's on match point. And that OCR sends requests to the orchestra saying, hey, this person's on match point, we should stream this person. And orchestra will then do the switching the channels and stuff, if that makes sense.
That's really cool. So basically, like the OCR is looking at streams to see who's close to the end, and then once it determines who it is, that lets the hype orchestrator know, and then the hype orchestrator basically has a list of streams that are currently like near the end of the game. Or
So at the moment, it's only able to. It's a bit of a one-track mind. It only knows one stream at a time. But the
okay,
orchestra, I can hook up different clients to the orchestra. So at the moment, I just have the website, which is just a Twitch embed with a change animation. That's what the client is.
okay,
But in the future, I need to talk to Twitch about the API rate limits because it's a bit limited. But in the future, it could actually be a bot that listens to it and sends a host command to actually change the host.
very cool. And so like
Yep.
I'm on the site right now, and it's hosting Verba, and they currently have 22 viewers. But I guess can you show me which part of the screen says that like they're near the end, or like what? Why?
It doesn't show that anywhere near the end. It's all just at the moment hidden in the API layer.
Okay,
So I am working on the client to expose that, but I kind of hit a roadblock where I probably should use Vue.js because it's all custom at the moment, and it's just put me out of motivation because I
okay,
only got so many times in the day to
sure,
actually work on it.
cool.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea overall. It's really cool. Okay, so in terms of the code I have in front of me, this is the API piece. Is there any
Yep.
particular area we should focus on?
So in general, I'd just like to get your opinions and views on how you do the API with the different what are they called? Routes. So we got the orchestra, which handles the orchestration, the channels. We got the channel endpoint and a blacklist because sometimes you don't want certain channels to go on it. And then additionally, how I handle the gateway connection, if that's the right way to go, because I'm still fairly new to Node actually,
Okay,
and this is probably my first actual quote unquote big API project in it.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just start from the top of the API and like work my way in, and then we can start to talk about the different pieces. Um,
All right.
so if we look at server, and you want me to focus on the server, right?
Yeah, just the
Okay,
server. And if we have time, just a quick look over the client, but I'm not sure how long this will take.
okay. So
Yep.
index, this is just like our basic Express app. Um,
Yep.
this is super interesting to me. I mean, I realize it has nothing to do with how the code works, but like having the spacing so that all the equal signs line up. Um,
I've been doing my work is actually PHP,
uh,
and while it's not required, it just makes it so much readable
yeah,
when you're doing massive lists of arrays and that.
yeah. I've
And I'm
seen
like,
a lot of people that prefer this style.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay, so we have a basic Express app. It's bringing in a few different middlewares. And I guess you're using S3 for something. Using
uh,
Go ahead.
yes. I take a screenshot of the stream and I upload that to S3 when I switch the channels.
Cool.
So I could have like a little thumbnail going, this is what the history of the who've we? Yeah, sorry, running out of breath.
No
Talking too
worries.
fast. The idea was I was going to have a history of past people we've hosted, and I wanted a thumbnail to show that's what they were doing at the time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just an extra little feature.
Okay, so we have our database with Monk, so that's cool. And
Yeah,
then
I'm loving MongoDB. First time using it, and it just makes analytics so much easier. Like I got a cloud Mongo that has all the charts in there, which is super cool.
thank you, in Caesar for the Twitch Prime sub, much appreciated. Okay, we've got our auth, and then you have your options object, I guess, which you're putting all the things that would be needed by the route. So you have like app, gateway, DB, and auth.
Yeah,
And,
so
okay.
each collection of the routes, they will need a set amount of options. Like I think most of the routes can actually send events to the gateway. So that was the main reason to have the options to pass to it, so they could actually get to the gateway, because I
Okay.
didn't know how to link it otherwise.
And see you later, funny dude. Thank you again for all the supports. Much appreciated. Have a good day. So that's pretty cool. So I kind of like this idea of like you're creating all the things that your API will need, but that's in the top level, and then you pass
Yep.
those into the like top level API router right here.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Okay, and then let's just take a look at the API index. And so this just mounts the subroutes, right? So
Yes.
okay, we have our root route, uh, the blacklist, the orchestra, the statistics, and the channel. Cool. Yeah, and I mean, like some of the things in here are like not my preferred style. Like a lot of most Node.js apps that I work with, we typically always put the requires at the top instead of requiring in line. But that's really just like a code style preference. The code works either way, right?
I put it in line because it's in a side of function, because I need to pass the options. I see what you mean, because the require just returns a function.
Yeah. So I mean,
So I
like,
can put it on the top and
yeah,
return a function.
you could
Right
create a
there.
variable called like blacklist. That's equal to that. It should still work in the same way.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And but of course the code works this way too. So I think as long as you're consistent, then I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. And then which one should we take a look at first?
Probably the orchestra one, because that has all the gateway events in that, and it's probably the beefiest one.
Okay. Cool. So we're using Joy for validation. Um,
Yep.
nice. So you're using this. Well, HTTP errors, are those your own errors that you've defined?
So this is a cool little script I found on Gist, which basically allows you to define status code as errors. Because working from PHP and C#, I'm used to just be able to throw HTTP errors, and then the error handler catches it and returns that status code.
Right.
So I re-implemented that in this project.
Cool. Yeah, and the
So
code's not too
quite
complex. They're
easy.
using that HTTP library, which is basically like an enum of status codes, and then it
Yep.
creates an error that can be thrown.
So I'm not entirely sure how this code works. I just kind of copied and pasted it shamelessly.
Cool.
Um,
That's fine.
but it seems to work well enough.
Nice. So yeah, we're bringing errors in there. I got some const up at the top. Let's see, what do these do?
So these consts are just event names for the gateway. I just wanted them to be at the top and quite clear, so don't. I don't like having, especially for events, just strings,
Right.
because it's so easy to misspell them. So I like put them on top.
Yeah, it
On
makes
the top
sense.
as a const.
These
Yeah.
are like almost like enum values, but in this case, they're just top level variables.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Basically enums.
Yeah, I mean, I would think like if this is the only file they're used in, that's great. But like you could potentially extract these out into like a constants folder. I don't know if you'd want to do that, but um, you could like have an
Yeah.
object called orchestra types, and then it could have these properties on it or something like that.
Originally, there were a constant in the gateway, so
Mm.
you'd go gateway.event_orchestra or whatever. But I found that I did only use them in this file, so there was no real need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the actual router that takes in, well, the function that takes in the options, and inside of it creates the router itself.
Yep.
Initially listening on the Monster Cat channel, I guess.
Yeah, just like a
Default.
it's just the default channel I set up because they're always playing music. They're always online.
Right.
It's a reliable channel to go back to.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, destructure the options. Let's see.
you still there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello.
There we go.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, I totally forgot though. You're actually hearing my microphone here, not this microphone. So I do have to be a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's a little bit tinier than on the stream.
Okay. Cool. So some quick validation on rules. Um, for the channel name.
So, I most of this code's actually based off your own code,
Mm,
because I've never done this. But I've found that the schema wasn't actually appropriate to use in this case because I was just getting one particular rule for most parts.
mm.
So I broke it out into this rules constant. So if I wanted to, I could make a schema out of that, or I could just grab the individual rule I need.
I see. So like you just
Yep.
have it here, and then you can say rules.name.validate or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So in all of these routes, I guess which one do you want me to take a look at, and then maybe we'll just focus on that one. Um,
Um, Probably the is it the topmost one? Yeah, the change one. That one's the most complicated one because it
okay.
uses a bunch of DB stuff.
Okay. And so this is the route that would get called whenever you're switching from one channel to another.
Yeah. So the OCR will be like, hey, can you please go to this channel, and it'll pass it into the change route.
Okay. Cool. Um, oh, I see what you're doing here. So you're actually creating a schema that has the rules.name embedded inside of it, so that way
Yep.
you can pass it directly to the body. Um, cool. I mean, I think
Yep.
one thing you probably could do is just do like rules.name.validate with rec.body.name. Now, and are you seeing me typing?
Yeah, I'm seeing you typing.
Cool.
Yep.
So like you could do that. I think potentially one nice thing about passing the full body into it is you can potentially throw an error if they try to add extra properties or something like that. Um,
Okay.
but this might do if you just want to validate that one specific property. Um,
Yeah, I'm not sure if I do that elsewhere actually.
okay.
My standards are all over the place for this. Yeah, under the pre-roll endpoint, I do exactly what you were mentioning just
Oh,
then.
okay.
Yep.
So
I don't know why I choose one or the other, but
yeah, I guess whatever your preference
okay.
is. I guess
Yeah.
another thing we could do is wrap this in a try catch. So I think if you do schema.validate, I think by default does it throw an error? Or I guess I thought there was like a
So
validate async or something like that.
um, I'm using it's all async, but I'm using express async, so it throws the errors and it handles it properly. So the validation gives an error. It doesn't necessarily throw an error, so I just throw it, and I have a middleware that catches that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't focus on this, but I think there is a way to make it so that when you call a validate method, it actually throws the error instantly, so you don't have to check the error property afterwards.
Ah,
Yeah, that would
that
basically
would
just
be
get rid of
useful.
this line of code because you could validate it. If it throws an error, your express async could handle that. Um, but yeah, then you wouldn't have
Yep,
to like manually throw it.
that
Okay.
would be helpful because all my validates are immediately followed by that if statement, which is kind
Okay.
of annoying. Yep.
Cool. So we have right now, which is a date divided by one. What's happening here?
So it was originally a date divided by 1,000 to get it into seconds, and
Mm.
then I realized Mongo uses milliseconds, so I kept the divided by one because I have no idea how to turn it into a number otherwise,
Oh,
and
okay.
I
You
couldn't be
actually
bothered.
like
Yeah.
you either don't have to. I'll have to see in the code where you're actually using it. But you also could just
Yep.
do date.now because date.now returns milliseconds.
Is that UTC milliseconds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, should be.
Okay. Cool.
Um, so that would prevent you from doing that. And yeah, and I guess basically what happens here is JavaScript coerces the date into a number, which basically turns it into milliseconds.
Yep.
I guess another thing you could do is like a unary plus in front of it. And that would
Oh,
basically
okay.
say parse this as a number, which turns it into milliseconds.
What I originally had, which I'm actually curious to see if you ever had seen this JavaScript syntax before.
Hmm.
Oh, I cannot edit. I'm in read editor.
Oh yeah,
No.
let me give you a read write.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So okay, it's gonna be weird. I'll just close it and open it again. Okay, here we go. So what I originally had was actually when it was in seconds, it was this. So I'm curious if you've seen that syntax before. I
Um,
found it was pretty neat.
yeah, I haven't, but we could look this up because so this is like a uh,
Yeah,
what's it called?
I've done a bit of research on this, and it's actually
It's a bit.
really interesting and hacky
It's a
with
bit.
JavaScript.
Yeah, bitwise operator. Let's see what. I don't have the bitwise operators memorized, so it's a not, and
It's a
so it's
not,
a
yeah.
it's a double not, so it's a not. And
Yeah,
I
so it's just...
Doc is usually here to explain these things. There's somebody in the chat probably knows what's happening here, but I think it's something. It's a not, but it's so if you not a number, maybe it turns it into an integer or something like that. Like it. I'm not gonna pretend
So
I know what happens here.
the numbers system is really weird but I think you're on the right track that when you're not a float, it will turn it into a number. And then if you're not, it's basically a really efficient way to floor a number.
Hmm.
Because you knot it and then you undo the knot, and it's just a floored number because it lobs off the exponent basically, I
Right.
believe.
Okay.
Um,
And I guess that
yeah,
makes sense here because you don't have decimal. Well, you do because you're dividing by 1,000.
yeah.
Okay.
I was dividing by 1,000, so
Cool.
I was going to get the milliseconds as a decimal.
Cool.
But
Okay. So
didn't do that for Mongo.
yeah. So there are a lot of ways to do it. I would say probably like the standard way is just to say date dot now because that's going to give you milliseconds instantly.
Yep.
And you don't
Okay.
have to worry about other things like that. Okay.
All right. Awesome.
So you grab the name. Yeah, we probably could destructure this. I guess I'll kind of just look at the logic of the code and see if I have any thoughts about that. So if the channel name is already set, we say it's already hosted. This .channel name, is that coming from
That is
options?
coming from this object.
I
As
see.
you can see, I kind of use the function as a constructor.
I see. And
Um,
so this is kind of like a single instance. So when it gets changed, it changes the property here. Okay. Yeah,
Would it be
enough.
better to
Go ahead.
store it like that or to use it in a database entry?
So
Um,
the if you only have a single instance of your API, then this is totally fine. However,
Yep.
if you ever try to scale this thing, so where you have multiple instances, this will break down because each instance would have its own this value.
Yep.
And also like if you put multiple instances behind the load balancer, then you basically would run into a scenario where each instance would not have the same value. So you'd want to do like a DB lookup to see what the current thing is instead.
Okay.
But because JavaScript or because Node.js is single threaded, technically this works as long as you only have a single instance of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people in the chat are mentioning you have double equals where you should be using triple equals. I don't know if that's. I mean, you can. You definitely can. So
I'm always afraid of triple equals. I don't know why. It's just
yeah. So I mean the
super strict comparison.
yeah the general consensus in the JavaScript world is that like when we compare things, we typically mean triple equals. We typically mean compare type. Well, just compare type and value. So, and it's potentially like faster. There's some optimizations that can happen because if for whatever reason name is not a string, then this just instantly fails because channel name is a string. So basically, the triple equals compares to make sure that they're both the same type, and then it compares the value underneath. Whereas double equals means there could be type coercion. So if you're comparing a number and a string, JavaScript could potentially cast that number to a string or the string to a number.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Horrible boxing stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, your code works, which is fine. But
Oh,
the who was it? Douglas Crockford. If you're looking for like a book to read on JavaScript,
okay.
he wrote. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I really should know better because I spent an hour debugging something in PHP, which was type checking.
Right.
Triple equals versus double equals. But yeah, I didn't even think about the different performance impacts it could have.
And the thing is, like in a case like this, it's probably negligible, right? It's probably like a few milliseconds longer because it has to go through the potentially go through the type coercion algorithm versus just directly comparing type.
Yeah.
And so, it's super minor. I would say like it's really not that big a deal, but people are right. Whenever they say that like technically it's a bit more optimized if you do triple equals, but I don't know. I'll leave this link in here for you. So there's the JavaScript with the good parts, which
Okay,
is
awesome.
I mean the book actually came out a while ago, but that's where a lot of people got that idea and have been pushing that idea that we should use triple equals instead of double equals. But okay, and basically like anywhere that happens. So like here, this should be like not double equals instead of not equals.
Yeah, well, the null is probably a prime example and where it should be, because if channel ID is 0, would that consider it null?
Um,
Or
no. So the only case where that would happen would probably be if you're comparing it with like undefined, because then it could
uh,
be coursed there. I don't. We'd have to see. I don't know for sure, but I don't think it's possible that like null could be coerced to undefined. I don't think this could be coerced to a number though.
okay,
So, but yeah, I mean the main idea is if you use triple equals, you just don't even have to worry about that at all. You just know that if it's not null, then you're good to go. Um,
yep.
and I guess would channel ID ever be null?
Uh,
Oh yeah,
when it first starts up,
I see.
because
Yeah.
I don't get the, yeah,
Okay.
it's an entry from Mongo itself, so I don't have a record for it.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right. And then if it's not null, we're gonna set the current channel. So we'll do channels.update. Um, it's interesting you're passing in the version. I don't think I've ever done that. Is that your own versioning, internal versioning, or?
Yeah, it's my own versioning, and it's already saved my ass. Sorry, my butt. Once, because when I converted it to milliseconds to seconds, I didn't want to invalidate all my statistics.
Mm,
So having that version there, I was able to go everything version 1, multiply by 1,000, and then increment the version number.
that makes sense.
Um,
I like that.
so yeah, it's already helped me out.
Cool. And then we're setting specific values. So host nested property dot end. So what is this doing? I'm not familiar with this like syntax.
So this took me probably an hour to write. So the host structure, actually I'll load up MongoDB and I will paste in like just a JavaScript JSON, just a JSON example.
Sure. So like what the data looks like
Um,
inside.
yeah.
Okay.
But basically, every channel has a list of times it's been hosted, which is the host, and we select the one that has the end value as 0. So when we first, these are timestamps, the end and start, end and next are timestamps. Next? No, start. Yeah. The end and start are timestamps, and when it first started, I set as end as 0.
Okay.
And so what this does is say, hey, find an element. The element is where the end is less than 0, and it basically puts that there. So it's just a cheap way, I suppose, of getting the last element in the array.
Okay.
I think it'll make more sense when I share the actual structure.
Sure.
Let me just connect to the database. Type corner, channels, someone with multiple hosts. Yeah, this person seems good. Punisher. Copy. How do I export it? Here we go.
Cool. I think just like a general thing is you might want to look into using like a linter or prettier, because it does seem like you're doing a lot of manual formatting, just to make sure things like line up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just use whatever's default in Visual Studio, so I don't actually have a linter specifically.
Okay. So do you use a code formatter though? Because I don't know if they have if VS Code has one built in. You might be using like Beautify or something like that.
No, that's not a prettifier at all.
Okay.
I found that most annoying with Go, so I've just kind of gone away from that sort of automatic formatting.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would strongly recommend you look into it. So, with something like ESLint, you can actually like choose all of your rules. So instead of like having everything chosen for you, you could basically set up a rule that auto formats like your imports to have like to line up the spacing with the equals and stuff like that. Um, and um, just
All right.
different rules like that. So like, because I'm seeing like in some places there's double quotes for strings, and then other places, well, so double quotes, and in some places there's single quotes. So linter would help you be more consistent.
Okay. I've just created a file called example underscore channel.json. Can you see that?
Yep.
And
Cool.
that is an example of what the database has for a single channel.
Okay. So let me try to decipher this. So in the API itself, we're saying set hosts. We have a specific element dot end now. So if we look on here, hosts is an array of objects.
Yep.
And so each one of these is a potential channel that we have hosted before or will be hosting.
This is a specific time we have hosted this particular channel.
Okay, so if we've hosted it before, this is potentially the scenario where we're actually setting it to be the current channel.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So, like in the route, we're setting. Uh,
So what we're doing here in the route is we're finishing up the previous host. So we're setting the end time of the previous host to now because we're no longer hosting that channel.
I see. So this is before we
Yeah.
update the current channel. We're ending the previous one. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so this query is saying, host end property.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. And so this syntax, $ element corresponds to each value inside of that array.
So it is, you can see the array filter at the bottom. It is the result of that filter. So it is every element that matches that filter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so every element in the host array where um, end is less than or equal to 0.
Yeah. So when I first host a channel, I'll create a new host, but I set the end to 0 because we don't know when they end yet.
Mm,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. So this is basically ending any current host by setting the end to be right now, meaning that you're no longer hosting them.
Yeah.
And then after that, so I'll move in. I'm here in Orchestra line 75. Then we're gonna host the new channel. So you have your base data. You're gonna see if there's an existing one. I see. And then how many different collections do you have? So like what we're looking at right now in that JSON file is like an example of the channels collection. Is that right?
Yeah, so that is one document in the channels collection, and I only have one other collection, which is the blacklist, which is just a simple name value pair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so yeah, we're finding one if it already exists. If it doesn't exist, you're going to go ahead and create it. Let's see. And so this entire object is like an instance of one item that might be in the database, but you potentially will have multiple channels in here, and then each channel has an array of hosts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can send a screenshot of what it actually is if you want. I'm not going to copy it all because that's a lot of data.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Just a screenshot would be good. So I see. So like this object represents Sam Punisher, and then it has a host array of things that this channel Sam Punisher would be potentially hosting.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And so
There you go.
yeah, let me take a look.
Just forwarded it to you.
Enhance. I see. Yeah. So that's why this is the host orchestrator, because all of these different channels could potentially be hosting a different channel.
No,
Is that
so
accurate? Okay.
we're hosting only one channel at a time. I just keep a list of every time we have hosted them, so I can show a history and also do some analytics on them.
Oh, I see. So
I have a giant.
each
Yeah.
of these entries is a channel that you would have hosted.
Yes.
And then the array of hosts is the historical data about when that channel was hosted.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So if there's not an existing channel, we'll go ahead and add that specific channel. Oh wait. Oh no, no. If
No.
it
So
is existing, I see.
yeah.
So if it's already in there, then we're going to just push into that host array the current host, which is
Yep.
starting right now. And I see what you're saying earlier is basically it ends at 0 because you don't know when it will end, and you use that value later on to determine who you're currently hosting,
Yep.
or which the current information about the current host is. And you set it to live. And then this is where you're setting like the local property of channel ID to be that ID and the channel name. Cool.
Yep.
But if it wasn't there, we're going to insert a new channel. Set the specific, like the internal value of ID and name here. And then I guess gateway is like some WebSockets where you basically are saying this is the current channel.
Yes.
Okay.
And all the clients listen to that. Even the OCR listens to that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot going on here. I guess I'll give you some general things to do. So like I would say I'm so used to working with SQL databases that even when I'm inside of or like even when I'm using like a Mongo database, I'll actually create like related stores as well because
Yeah.
it potentially it makes the querying a little bit easier because like right now like this definitely works. So like you have queries that are looking inside of the array inside of your documents.
Yep.
I'm not completely sure about like the performance of that, but first, like for me, it was a little. It took a little bit for me to even understand um, how that thing was being queried. So like you potentially could store hosts in a completely separate document store,
Okay.
where like each host instance has a like a channel ID, and that links back to the channel itself. Um, and then let's see.
So would each host be a new document in that collection?
Yeah,
Each time I host that person? Okay.
right, and I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Like, it technically would potentially make your analytics a little bit easier to query because now you're querying just a single collection instead of
Yeah.
querying arrays inside of documents.
A lot of the aggregates I had to do massive unwraps, which was annoying to get my head around. But I think now that I understand it, it's a bit simpler. But
Yeah,
I always worry about the performance of those unwraps.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like I said, I'm not a Mongo expert or anything like that, but it would potentially be a little bit faster to query a single document store. So that's one thing. But like you said, you've already written a lot of code, so it would potentially be a big refactor to switch to that. But that's one thing that I'll mention. Um, let's see. Yeah, and I don't really have any other like major comments. I mean, like the code is doing what it should do, right?
All right.
So yeah, I mean, like really, my main comments are just kind of about like code style to make sure that it's consistent. I guess you're the only person working on this though, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically.
Cool. Because I mean, like that's the main reason we would use something like a code formatter or something like that is because if somebody else is going to contribute, you want to make sure that they have the same code style.
Yep.
Cool. Hax is mentioning schema.virtuals to relate documents. Never heard of that, but I guess that's a way of adding relations within MongoDB now. Um,
Give that a quick Google.
yeah, cool. And I guess another thing we could potentially do is like this technically is like this function is, I guess, returning a router. So it returns this. I see.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm like I said, this is basically first time I've actually seriously used Express, so I had no idea how to do it. I was kind of learning the export system.
Right.
Um, because I'm actually used to ES6, ECMAScript 6, because I use Webpack a lot
Okay.
for my other projects. So I have no idea if
Um,
this is right or not.
Cool. So I think this could be a fun little refactor is to think about like how we could write this differently. So we could potentially put this in a class, um, or take a look at how the like a different way to get access to like options inside of this file. I don't know if that seems interesting to you. Um,
Yeah, that does seem fairly interesting because I was scratching my head for ages on how to get the options into this class.
right,
Because I do need, I mean, the database I could probably create on the fly, but the gateway I definitely need a static reference to
right.
because that's a process running in the background.
Cool. Yeah, and in like like you could create some sort of like I don't know gateway manager, and then the gateway manager, you could say get current gateway, and that returns an instance of it or something like that instead of having to pass it in beforehand. But yeah, let me let me just think to how we might um, um, put it into a class or something like that. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, I think a class would make sense because then you could create an instance of it. So actually, let's do this. So if we look at the API router, um, or yeah, so the API router, and think about how we could potentially how we would potentially call it here. So could do something like um, let's see, like this: new orchestra, and you pass in the options, and you could
Okay.
say orchestra is an exported class from that file. Um, and I guess it has a router property. What are the are you using any of these other properties in the outside world, or is router really the only one that you're using?
Uh, oh, yeah, it's only router that I'm using.
Yeah,
Yep. But I've got to return this just to be consistent
right.
with the gateway class, which is completely different, of course.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, let's. I don't know if this is gonna be the best way to refactor it, but let's see if this let's see how this works out. So, if we make it a class, then this thing would need to export a class. So, we could have like a class orchestra, and then that has a constructor that takes in the options, um, and we'll just do module.exports equals the orchestra, like that. Now, technically, you can just take everything that's inside of this function and put it inside the constructor.
Okay.
Um, but now that it's in a class, it might be a bit easier to like break up. So we could basically put that in here. It should still work. Let me just fix the formatting really quick. Yeah. Um, and so like technically, it's the same thing, but instead of just exporting a function, you have this. But you could break this up a little bit. So then you could have methods on the class that are like add routes, or I guess you could even have like a controller class. So because like each of your routes has a handler, but you technically could have like a route class that has methods on it, like change, or get channel or skip.
I get what you mean. Yeah, so
Yeah,
break out the handler into its own function and then just pass that to the router sort of thing.
right. And but where that gets tricky though is that each of these handlers are currently accessing the this value. Um, and so
Yeah.
because of that, then it's not quite as easy because you need to make sure that each of those handlers, um, actually, I guess if you did that, then you could bind them. You could bind them to have the this value from the outside world. Hmm,
Yeah.
maybe that's a better refactor. Actually, let's just see what this would look like. So if you have something
Okay.
like, um, I'll do like a high level view of what it looked like. So orchestra router,
Yeah.
and then this would have a method like change, and that has recres and next. And then if we take a look, basically this whole piece right here for change could get moved in. Wait, which part did I copy? Oh, okay. Let's do this. Um, cool. So, like, orchestra router has this function called change, and then inside of the orchestra, it could create an instance of an orchestra router, something like that. So, like, um, equals a new orchestra router, and then down here on change, you could say like orchestra router dot change. And for now, you probably could just do bind this, because that will bind the this value that's inside of the constructor here to the change function, and so it should just work, right? So like inside of here, this is what it needs to be. I guess the only other issue is if you're accessing like that options object or any of the other variables you had above it, you'd have to somehow get access to them in here. But
Pass
like,
that into the router, the orchestra router constructor, or is that
yeah,
just
so
basically duplicating code at that point?
yeah, so like you could pass the options in here, put it on the instance, but right, you'd want to figure out the best way to give it access to the same properties, and I don't think it's accessing them directly. I guess it is using like DB though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's using DB and gateway.
Yeah, so technically you'd have to do something like this, like at the top of the handler, um,
Okay.
like that. Which should still technically work because we are binding the this value.
So in this case, this becomes the base orchestra class. Yeah, the this class down. Yep, where did it go? Down here.
Yeah, and I mean, so let's see. Yeah, and like you could technically pass in options. I'm just trying to figure out a way to potentially move these into like to a separate file because right now it's all in the same file, like the orchestra router is. But by doing this, you technically could move it to its own file. And then this router here becomes a little bit cleaner because it's just technically like mounting the routes instead of having like all of the code embedded together.
Yeah, I suppose so. But the API base class, API index is breaking that up a bit more already.
Right, and so like this is breaking up the top level routes.
Okay.
But then inside of the router itself, you could break it up further to be each of the method handlers. Like again,
Right.
your code works. You don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But like this is closer to the like the MVC style, the way people structure their code. Oh, someone mentioned I just named the variable wrong. We're not running this code, so
Nah.
it's just example of what we would do if we were to run it.
Orchestra is one of those weird words.
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you look at it up for a long time, it starts to look really weird. Cool. So yeah, that's basically all I'm saying here is like, and so each of these handlers you could slowly pull out. And hey, White Panther, thank you very much for that raid. Welcome, raiders, and hello, Layla Codes It. Welcome to the show. I'm currently doing a code review. We have here an Express API that we're looking at. We're talking to Lechi. Welcome. This is not a raid. Cool. So yeah, that's one way to go about it. And like I said, you could basically take this orchestra router and pull it into its own file after you do all of that.
Okay.
Cool. I think it's all I have to say about that. Like, I mean, I think what you're doing is fine. There are ways we could split this up, but I think the other thing to think about is like once you start to split this up into separate files and separate methods, it could potentially be harder to follow because now you have multiple files that you have to go into
Yeah.
to see like where is this specific thing being called. So like there are pros and cons to all of this type of stuff. I'm curious if anybody in the chat has suggestions or thoughts on this code now that we've had a chance to look at it. Oh, thank you, Butterpaws. Yeah, you can set the LEDs here on my screen. Just
scrap
scrap
that start over.
Hey, Fuzzbo, you stop it. That's not very
Well,
nice.
I don't know, it gives you a chance to revisit and redesign your code. I find that's actually quite useful when I'm game developing, just to prototype it out, then you delete it and you go, I know exactly what to do now, and rewrite it in a much cleaner, better way.
Right, and I
Um,
think that's the other thing to think about is like once you've had a chance to write it once, you know you have the bigger picture now, so it's a lot easier to write it better the second time.
yeah,
Yeah,
I find myself rewriting projects 3 or 4 times, and by the fourth time it's all perfect. But you have to stop yourself at some point,
yeah,
otherwise you just keep rewriting forever.
right.
Perfect.
Okraim says the way I would do it is have the methods inside the orchestra class, and the orchestra router call those methods to define the routes or something like that.
Okay.
I could see it. Yeah, there are basically many different ways to spin it. Like, um, and I will not claim any of those are the best way. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think that's all we have time for, Lechi. Any last
Okay.
questions or any other things you want to talk about?
Just quickly, could you have a look at the gateway.js and just give a quick perusal if that's kind of the right way to set it up?
Let's see.
Because it's kind of weird trying to get WebSockets to work on Express. And so I did my best to try to get it to work, I guess.
Hmm. Okay, and so yeah, I mean this is I guess typically what you'd have to do is you have to get access to the Express app that was created, or get access to the server. So if we look in index, yeah, I guess this technically is just the app, but you can create an instance of a server from the HTTP core module, and that's usually what I've seen people create things off of. And Pixel Logic Dev, thank you very much for that raid as well. Let's get
Yeah.
groovy. Welcome, raiders. It's like 2 raids back to back. We're currently doing some code reviews. We have Lechi on the line. Lechi's just a viewer of the channel.
Hello.
And we're going to do some more reviews after this as well, but welcome, raiders.
Yep.
Okay, so it gets access to the app. Oh, I see. You're using this library Express WebSockets,
Yes.
and so I guess
Then that
that
handles mapping the Express routes and stuff in HTTP handler, I guess. I don't
interesting.
know. It's the
Okay,
easiest way to deal with it because I don't really want to handle the HTTP connections myself.
right.
Because that just seems like the wrong thing to do when you have such a high-level API like Express.
Okay, and so most of the time when I've used sockets, I've used Socket.io, which is like a higher level wrapper library.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's see. So create the WebSocket instance. You have a router as well. Main WebSocket route. I see. So does this handle like the initial like HTTP handshake?
Yes. So this handles the WebSocket function. This is what the Express WebSocket does. It handles the upgrade handshake and that, and then it just treated like a regular um, Express route where you just get the WebSocket connection from that router now.
Okay.
So the WS is the connection here, and then the rec is just the request itself. But
Oh,
yeah,
I see. So that's how you're handling the initial connection, and then you get access to the WebSocket itself, so that you can listen for messages or send messages.
yeah.
Okay.
Just have a little bit of broadcasting because apparently WebSockets and Node don't stay alive.
Interesting. Okay, and so this iterates over all of the clients and calls send on it. So I guess that broadcast function isn't built in.
Yeah, no, it's not built in. It's quite actually a raw level WebSocket. It's kind of like just using the WebSockets in JavaScript,
Hmm.
plain vanilla JavaScript.
Cool. Um. Yeah, I'd have to take a look at like ExpressWS and
The best way to do it. Yeah, that's
yeah,
fair.
because I haven't had much experience creating things this way. I mean, this looks okay to me.
I mean, it works, and ever since I've added that set interval, it's been reliable.
So what is
Um,
the set interval doing?
so the set interval is just keep
Oh,
sending data to the clients
it's like a
because,
ping. Yeah.
yeah, if
Okay.
you don't, WebSockets do have a ping, but for some reason they don't actually use it in Node.
Hmm.
So you have to keep sending data to keep the socket alive.
Okay.
Um, is set interval. I guess the main thing in this file is is set interval appropriate to use in Node.js? Is there better alternatives?
So the thing about
Or
set interval is it's going to call this function at this interval no matter what. And so what
yep.
you might do is use a set timeout that just calls itself instead, because that way you can be
Okay.
sure that it doesn't like overlap itself. Because it's possible that for whatever reason, if you have a ton of connected clients, and great job, Butterpaws, that's a great job. But if that, let's say you have thousands of clients, and one set interval isn't finished before the next one gets called, then they're technically like overlapping.
Yeah.
So if you like put this in a function and then let's see, you call it from within itself. So like heartbeat, and then instead of set interval, you could do set timeout. So that will call this function after that duration. So you say heartbeat, and then just throw this at the bottom of the heartbeat function.
That would allow for a dynamic heartbeat as well.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
And so like you could like increase or decrease the duration, but now you can be sure that the next heartbeat won't happen until this heartbeat is complete.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Yep. All right. Thanks, Leichy. This was super fun.
Okay.
I guess we talked about a lot. I don't know if I didn't change much code. If you want me to paste this on Discord or something, let me know. But otherwise,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just create a new branch and commit the new branch. Oh, wait, no, this is connected to you, isn't it?
yeah.
Um.
So
Yeah, I'll just copy this class. There we go.
cool. Yeah, I'll leave the live share open for a little bit so you'll have access to anything.
All right. Cool.
Cool. All right. Thanks much. Talk to you later.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. We did it, everyone. How did the call go? That was a pretty good call. Smile face. All right, we get quite a few support events. I appreciate you all for the supports. Let me see when these came in. Wait, did that review last an hour? Is that right? No, I think we were like right here. Hey, Jakob. Thank you very much for the 2-month resub who says, and more to come. Maybe we're about right here. Rhino, 300 bits. Thank you very much. Seraphim with the 3-month resub who says, thank you for the great streams. You're very welcome. Revive Newt, 6 gifted subs. I think we talked about these, but that's okay. Talk about them again. Atchitox with a gifted sub to Jonas. Necessar with the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. Slick Wheel with 100 bits. White Panther with the raid. Thank you. Hopefully you still stuck around. We were in the middle of a review, but I thank you for raiding. And thank you to Pixelogic Dev as well. Welcome, Raiders. And Same Raw with the 1-month subscription. Much appreciated. And Jakob just now with the 2-month Twitch Prime resub. I appreciate you. Yeah. What's up, Ashkribot? I'm doing pretty good. I've been good. Just hanging out. We are going to jump into the next review, though. So that was Leichy. Next one is Aaron. So Aaron has a project that says, I would like for you to mainly review the way by which I register middlewares and request handlers. Right now they exist in each array, but is that okay with performance? Can I send you money to ship me yerbas? I'll do it for free. Just DM me, Aaron. So let me know, Aaron, do you want to, or first of all, are you ready to go? Do you want to have a live share session, or you just want me to pull down the code? And do you want to do a voice chat? We're going to do 4 reviews in total. Right now we're on the second one. Oh, no. So the country name is there. I made it so that it only shows up on hover. Yeah. Let's go. Live share, VS Code. All right, awesome. So I'll get this set up. Actually, I'm going to take a quick break, though. And we've got some... Let me acknowledge all the follows. We'll get everything hooked up, and then we'll go from there. But Let Me Fly, thank you very much for that follow. Marco, much appreciated. Necessar, thank you for being here. Searless, thank you for the follow. The Momode, thank you. Hey, Bjorn the Dev with the upgraded sub. Thank you very much for the upgraded sub, Bjorn the Dev. Thank you for being here. Thank you to Bagus, thanks for the follow. And Bastion, much appreciated. And Leo, John0589, much appreciated. Devo de Buick, thank you for being here. The Almighty Rook, much appreciated. What's up, Norma Bates? And Sarav and Satoxim, welcome. And Code Agency, hello. What's up, RSSTDD? And Zaploitor, welcome to the show. Hello, MZ Costi. Hello. What's up, this guy? Eric's, thank you for the follow. Judalo, thank you for the follow. And Cyborg Twitch, thanks for following as well. Yeah. Welcome. I hope your mic is decent today. Okay, what redemptions do we have? Mr. Dean Wolf, cheers for the hydrate. And Colorado Max as well. Cheers. And Dr. X Dev, thank you for the posture check. We're here. Hey, Dr. Chicken, thank you for that follow. Totally not a bot. Also, thank you for the follow. Cool. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, but when I come back, we're going to review Aaron's code. And it's going to be a fun time. So stick around. I'll turn some music on for you. Be nice to each other. And I guess you can go ahead and take a look at this code if you want to prepare for the review. I'll share it in the chat. That's what we're about to review. So, 5-minute break. Back soon. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Check, 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 check. Um, I'm back. You're back. Aaron, are you there? I sent you a DM on Discord. Let me know if that's actually you. Check, check. Um, and we're back. Yep, so I'm just getting set up for this next code review, and then we'll get started. So this code review is going to be of a tiny library for creating REST APIs in Node called TinyMux. Jonas, if you do !Panzer, you can see a video of my dog. He does not come downstairs, so you'll have to see the video for now. Impy says, I need a new Linux VM, so I'm just going to install Arch during the code review. Well, I'm calling you now, Aaron. I don't know if you're busy, or, I mean, you shouldn't be. We're about to start a code review. Nice, PJ Keller. Glad you got some beans. Hello? Test, test. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, can you count to 10 for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's a pretty good job. Great job. That was mainly to check the levels. And then did you get access to the live share session? Can you hear me? Hello, hello? Well, while we're waiting for you, I'm going to acknowledge a few of the follows we've gotten. Nurog, thank you for the follow. L Defens, much appreciated. Hello, Mono, thank you. Loki, thanks for being here. Codemaker, thank you for the follow. Agent Zero, much appreciated. And also Malice Chenier, thank you for the follow as well. Hello? Okay, he might be having audio issues, which is okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yep. Can you hear me? Check, check. We'll figure this out. The YouTube Music Discord? Oh, no. That's what that icon looks like, is it? No, this is called the Programming YouTuber, so it's a Discord. It used to be called Programming YouTuber. I mean, it is called Programming YouTubers, but I think we're going to expand to other people as well. But it's basically a bunch of different people that make programming tutorials on YouTube, including some pretty popular ones like Brad Traversy and Gary Simon and others who are also big, but I can't remember their names. All right, Aaron. Unfortunately, well, actually, I'll leave it open. I'll leave the voice chat open in case we can eventually get it working. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at your code, if that's cool. So, what Aaron mentioned here was that... hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool, I hear you.
I think it was a Safari issue.
Oh, dang, that's unfortunate. But it seems like it's working now, which is good. So in your comment, you mentioned you want me to review the way you were registering middlewares and request handlers?
Yeah.
I guess really quick, could you just give a quick intro to this library that we're reviewing? It's called TinyMux.
TinyMux, yeah. It's just a simple like node server framework that I put together to make it a bit faster and easier to stand up a small REST API.
Okay.
That just sends mainly JSON.
Okay. Yeah, from the README, I can see.
It's supposed to make it a bit easier to set up headers and the necessary stuff. The main goal for me was to make it more readable.
Okay.
To the way I like to write my handlers.
Right. Yeah, and so this looks very... Have you ever seen Happy.js?
I have not.
It looks a little bit like what they do. So, like, Happy.js is a framework for building back-end APIs. It's from the Walmart Labs team. It's separate from Express, but you can build similar things. But they have a similar idea where, like, you... maybe it's not the return object, but, like, you... Instead of doing it the Express way where you pass in a handler, you pass in an object of options that has, like, method, handler, and different things like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's sort of similar, but I like what you're doing. So just looking at the README, I can see that you want to handle a specific request to this URL that is a post request, and then you're going to respond with a 201 status code in a specific body. So it's pretty cool.
It was a little bit inspired by what's it called? The Gorilla Mux library or the Gorilla Mux package
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've...
in Go.
Oh, in Go?
Yeah.
I searched DuckDuckGo for Gorilla Mux and it showed me a bottle of milk, but I did find it. So a powerful HTTP router and URL matcher for building Go web servers. Let's just look at their example really quick. Interesting. It's definitely Go, so it's a little bit different, but that's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the code. Specifically, you wanted me to look at how you're handling middlewares. Can you point me to which file that would be in?
Yeah, in TinyMux
Mhm.
and TinyMux.js. And I think the entire, let's see, register middleware and the handle method. Yeah, there.
Okay. And then this one here.
Yeah.
Handle. Okay.
So the main thing is like my concern is how like handlers and middlewares should be registered.
Okay. And so
Should be called later.
and I guess are you worried about like performance or just want to see if there's another way to do it?
Wouldn't say I'm worried about it, but
Sure.
if there's a more performant way to do it, I would love to know.
Okay. And I guess I'll look really quick. So do you have any are you handling route params yet? So like
Yeah.
user/:id, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use the path to regex package for that.
I see. Cool. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look at handle. And I'm going to take a quick stretch cuz my break timer just popped up. Oh yeah, I still need to whitelist Infy's CDN. I haven't done that yet, but I will. Okay, so let's see where handle is called. So yeah, it's basically here. So like as a consumer of the library, you say dot handle, you pass in the path you want to handle, you pass in a request handler.
Yep.
And I guess you actually there's an optional method on the end.
Yes.
And
It
so
defaults to get.
okay, that makes sense. Okay. So I guess let's think about this, right? So if you were writing, not you, but anybody else, if you were writing this library and you wanted to implement a function called handle, and it basically needs to register this behind the scenes so that it can be called later, you basically need a way to look things up, right? You have to look it up by path, look it up by method, and so we need a way to store it in that way. So let's take a look, because we get the path, the callback, and the method. So we're trying to see if a handler exists for this specific path and this specific method. And then handlers is just an array. Okay. I'm thinking like because you are looking at the path directly, like you're looking at the registered path, it might make sense to store this as like a map. Because then you could store it in the map as the combined path plus method, and then it'd be like an instant lookup instead of having to search through the whole array. Or I mean, you could have it in both places because I'm not sure how else the handlers array is used as well. Actually, let me just do that. So, do you have tests or like what's the best way to test this? Should we create like a simple little server with it?
Yeah, I don't have tests.
Okay, that's fine. let's create our own little test server, and we're gonna bring in. We'll call it S. Is that or is S the instance of it?
Server. It's a class.
Oh, okay, so bring in server, and that's just index, right? Or require. That. And actually, I'm gonna copy your example from the README on GitHub. I don't want to post. Oh, I'll make it a GET request. So. I'm Tom Eddy says, what's testing? No, it's fine. I don't write tests too. Don't let people shame you. I mean, probably be better if you did write tests, but it's okay if you didn't also. So we're going to create a server. I'm going to do port 4242 because that's not in use. And see you later, PJ Keller. Thanks for being here. So start up a server. And can you see the code that I just created?
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to listen for a request. Let's just listen for a request on slash, like the slash route. And then we're going to respond with a 200 status code that says hello world. So let's start it up. I need to install.
It works.
I need to install dependencies. So I'm actually going to remove your package lock because you could be trying to hack me. I mean, you could probably still be trying to hack me. But I'll just mention in general, if I'm installing someone else's dependencies, I like to do just a quick once over of the package JSON, just to see if there's anything fishy in here. This looks totally fine. We've got path to regex, ESLint, Husky, lint staged. Should be fine. That's actually really cool that you have very minimal dependencies. Like your only dependency is the path to regex, pretty much.
Yeah, that was one of the other things I wanted to learn how to set up a server in just Node.
Right. Well, cool. So this looks good to me. So because I've removed the package lock can actually hide nested dependencies. So we're going to do a clean install with just the package JSON. Now, it's still very possible that I might get hacked because the way Node.js works is these installs have full access to my file system, but that's fine. Okay, now we have the dependencies, so we should try to run the test server. Hey now, what's up, Glux TV? All right, server available at 4242. I like your log. That's really nice. I didn't even have to do anything to get that log, right?
That's correct.
Cool. Awesome. So the server responds with hello world. Great. So let's try doing like a refactor. So what I'm thinking is whenever you register a handler, yeah, because right here you're saying handlers.push. I think we could also keep track of. Oh, okay. Here's the other thing to think about though. So right now, this assumes that there's only one instance of a server, right? Because every server is sharing this array of handlers and middlewares.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, snap. So like this probably should be an instance property. And I think that would be an easy enough fix because I don't think it's used anywhere else. Right?
Yeah, I just wanted to keep it outside of the class to not make it available for the consumer.
Sure. Because you don't want them to be able to directly access handlers.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Actually, yeah, you could do something like this. Okay, so let's see. So server is there. Yeah, you could do this. Create an IFI that returns server. So check it. We're gonna take everything and put it inside of this IFI. But this IFI will return the server. So we'll say server equals that. And then this IFI just returns server at the bottom. And so we basically you've created a private variable by wrapping it in a closure. Like this.
Yeah.
And it should still work. Let's restart it. So this is our basic test. We can still hello world. Great. So that's probably the way to do it. Is basically you've wrapped it, and then they still can't access it, but now you have a well, actually, is this the way to go? Well, I don't know. I think in this case they still technically all share the same array. Because this function only gets called once. You could make it so that you have something like a function that you can call, which would return an instance or return the server class. But yeah, FVBOML is mentioning put symbols in the hidden variables and then use those to access the properties. That could work. Yeah. And so, yeah, so I mean, the reason I wanted to return the class is because I wanted it to be I wanted them to be private variables. Um, um, but because the outside world is currently creating an instance themselves, right? And by outside, oh, whoa, sorry. And by outside world, I mean consumers of this library. Okay. But yeah, what Effie is mentioning is like you basically could do something like slap some mic. I'm sorry, everyone. Sorry if that was loud. You could say like this at symbol. I could do something like this. I don't know. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Handlers prop is a new symbol with handlers, something like that. And then middlewares prop is a new symbol at middlewares, like that. And you could say this at handlers prop equals an array of handlers. And this at middlewares prop equals an array of middlewares. And then we would get rid of handlers and middlewares. We could create some like simple getter. Well, I guess you wouldn't technically, you don't want the getter, right? Because you don't want a way of the outside world accessing the handlers array. It gets a little bit ugly because then we basically have to do this everywhere we access the handlers. So like, well, I guess it's only 3 places. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, so you could do that, and then the same thing with middlewares. Yeah, and you're only accessing it in 2 places too, so cool. Let's see if this works. Oh no, symbol is not a constructor. Oh, do I just invoke it without new? Cool. So it starts up at least. And we can still get hello world. Let's assume everything else works. But what Effie was mentioning, and let me know, Effie, if this is how you meant for me to implement this, was by creating these symbols, like you actually cannot recreate those in the outside world because a symbol is like a new unique primitive. Even if you passed in the same string, like symbol of handlers is not equal to symbol of handlers. Something like this. Well, double equals. False. Though you can do something like symbol.from handler. I don't know. But basically it gives you like a unique value that the outside world could not replicate to be able to access this. Right? So that the outside world has no way of getting access to that specific property. Yeah. Symbol.for. Let's try that. No, that didn't even work. Cool. So yeah, that's one minor refactor. Let's keep moving. So let's look at specifically handle. So what I'm thinking is now you also have something like this dot handlers map is a new map. And are you using TypeScript or it is just JavaScript, right?
Oh, this is JavaScript.
It looked like you had a TypeScript definition, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
It's just for making it consumable for TypeScript projects.
Okay. So handlers map, we create a map, and then whenever we push it into the array, we'll also like register it. So I could say like this dot handlers map dot set, and we could do something like path plus method, and set that to be the handler. So like handler equals that. Push it in and set it there. And what that now allows us to do is instead of attempting to find in the array here, we can just look it up in the map. Cool. So we could say handler exists is equal to this handlers.map that has path plus method, like that. And then we wouldn't need to do a find. And so if the handler exists, throw an error. If the method is invalid, throw an error, and then otherwise we register it, right? And so the main reason I would do this is that way we don't have to search through the array. Does that make sense? Are you still with
Yeah.
Okay.
My only concern with this is that we've still like exposed this.
The handlers?
So couldn't like the handlers map, yeah. So couldn't the handlers prop be the map?
Are you writing code right now? Here, actually, let me give you. Here, I'll give you reread access. Yeah, so you're right. If you want that to not be accessible as well, we'd have to create another symbol out here. So we could do like handlers map prop. And then similarly, do something like this. And then we would use that here.
Yeah.
Cool.
But is it necessary with like both of these?
What do you mean?
These two?
Oh, I don't know. I guess it may not be. So like if you actually don't need to have the handlers array, then probably not. You could just use the map. Because is the map mainly or sorry,
The map stores the map would store the path, the callback, and the method.
right. And so
So
technically
we
yeah.
use that map to both look up and to call.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, then you don't need the array. I just thought like maybe elsewhere in your code you were iterating over the array, but if you're not, then
No, I don't think so.
yeah, if not, then you just totally get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Hax is asking, does anyone have a favorite domain registrar? I really like Namecheap. You could also try pork bun, I think it's called.
The end simple is pretty decent.
What's it called?
DN simple.
DN simple. Okay, I haven't used that one. Okay. Yeah, so you don't technically need this array. Cool. So I mean, I think overall like the handle method is easy enough, and then register middleware. Like I guess you're doing a similar thing. You're pushing the middlewares in, but typically you do need to iterate over middlewares in a request. So I think that makes sense to have it in an array. Cool. So where else would you like me to take a look at in the code?
Good question.
Okay.
It's a pretty small library. So
Yeah.
I mean, you just like take a holistic view of it and just see if anything sticks out to you.
Sure. Yeah. I'll take a high level view. So, yeah, let's just take a look at the server here. The server is like fairly simple because you can just do registering. I like that you do have the not found handler and method not allowed. Like these types of things are just like predefined, which is pretty cool. And then we call start. Start does accept a callback, but otherwise it does like a default log. Okay, but when you call start, we're creating an HTTP server. So this is like the node core HTTP module. Yeah, and so this is where you're searching over the handler. So like on line 80 is search across handlers and find where and I think this makes sense, and why you would keep both the array and the map is like when a request comes in, you technically do need to look at all of your request handlers to see like to find the first one that matches.
Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. Path to
We just
regex.
do that with the map.get, right?
You could, but the one scenario I'm thinking about is if you have route params. So if you have like a um, colon ID, um, I guess you'd have to test that. Yeah, I think the other thing is you potentially want to create this regular expression ahead of time. So like instead of, because here you're actually calling it every time you iterate over the array of handlers. And what you could do is whenever you register a route, just have something like path regex, and that's path to regex with the path like that, and that way you can just
Oh,
yeah, then you can just access the like the cache regular expression like this.
smart.
So smart. So h dot path regex and then test it against the URL. It should work. Let's see. Well, we still get a hello world, so that's a good sign. But yeah, basically that way you don't have to recompile the regular expression every time. And this is why I don't think you could necessarily use the map, because you couldn't say like the regular expression path, like get that out of the map. That's why we need to look at each one to compare it with the URL, because like technically, like if you look at a if you do have route params like /user/id, you wouldn't be able to say get from the map /user/3, because it only exists as the parameterized version.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay. So that we do technically need to iterate over them. Yeah. So find the
Yeah.
path where we'll find the handler where the path matches and the method matches. Cool.
Yeah, I just got PTSD from writing this. I spent so much time
Yeah. Cool. So
trying
yeah,
to figure out how that entire variable thing would work.
yeah. I mean, it looks good enough though, because you're basically like find the right one based on this request. If you didn't find it, then you just immediately do the not found handler. And if the handler method does not include the request method, I guess you technically are checking the method already though. So you're only choosing that specific handler if the method is equal to each other. And so this is, I guess this probably would never happen. I think it would get a not found instead of a method not allowed, right? Let's try it. I'm
I
gonna
don't know. Try to post to.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna in Insomnia really quick. So
Yeah, Andrew says we should check the method first.
okay. Here we go. So when I do a GET request, well, I guess you'd have to look at the stream to see my screen, but I get a hello world. But if I try to post it, my guess is you get a not found. Yeah, you get a not found instead of a method not allowed. So
All right.
yeah, I think the but there'd be some more refactoring here, because technically the find is finding. It's only going to find one. It's going to find one handler that matches this specific URL and this specific method. If you wanted to have the logic where you checked for method not allowed, this would need to be a filter, because then you would get all the routes where the path matches, and then you would check of all those routes where the path matches, is this method supported?
Yeah.
And that makes the logic a little bit more complex, because now you technically have an array of handlers, and then you would check method not allowed. But then if the method is allowed, you choose the specific handler that is that method. And then you would have other logic where, like, if the handlers array is empty, then you show the not found handler. But okay. Yeah, so otherwise we're going to look at the middlewares, and then for every single one, if that middleware has a path and the path matches the URL. So I guess whenever you register middlewares, they also have a path.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. So can you? I'll look at your docs on GitHub. Can you have a middleware that is just registered like here, or like in between like the like for a specific path? Let's see.
I guess you could
Oh,
in the same way that you can in Express.
I see. So you're registering a middleware with like a wildcard path, and that means this should be applied to every single path, every single route.
Yeah.
I see. And then you technically could pass in the method as well, and say like only call this middleware on GET requests or something like that.
Yeah, I guess I could add that. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, in this case, we look at every single one. If it matches, we're going to call that middleware, set any headers that were set. And for all the, yeah, we'll store any headers that were set. So this might be a bug. So if there are multiple middlewares that set headers, it looks like this would actually...
Oh yeah, we should do an object assign.
Yeah, so we need to like spread it or object assign it. We'll just do object assign. Because we don't always need to spread. But yeah, basically take this, put it into headers, and then that way if multiple middlewares set headers, then they're all going to get set instead of overriding.
And I guess we could just make headers a const.
Well,
no.
Yeah, because then you have to reassign it. I mean, like technically you could do yeah. So it has to be a let still.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for every value in the headers, set the header on the response, and then handle the request. Very cool. I think it's cool. I think for anybody that's like that has never seen code like this before, it's actually pretty cool to see because behind the scenes, a library like Express is doing very similar things. So like this HTTP that we're looking at here is actually the core HTTP module from Express. Not Express, sorry, from Node. This thing. So this is built into the Node.js runtime itself, and it allows us to do HTTP-like things. And so when you use a library like Express, it's basically hiding all of the nitty-gritty details of handling requests and sending responses and stuff like that. Cool. I guess we technically could look at like send response. Let me just look. I'll do that. I'm gonna look at send response, and then I'll be done with this. That's actually not that bad. We have the response and the response writer. Write all of the headers. Set the status code and then default to 200 if it wasn't set. And then stringify the JSON body. Very cool. Yeah, I'm Tom Eddy is asking, would this package support HTTPS? I think you'd have to do a little bit of...
Yeah, you would have to... I would have to set up that.
Yeah, so let's see. So
default HTTP package does not allow TLS connections.
Right, and so there's actually a specific HTTPS core module that you'd have to use.
Yeah. And probably HTTP 2 eventually.
Yeah. And yeah, so the one of the main I guess like design goals with this library that you wrote is all responses are default to JSON. Like there are no other types of responses. It's purely for like simple JSON APIs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like typically when I deploy a Node app, I'm not using the HTTPS module. My Node app is behind some sort of reverse proxy, and the proxy itself has SSL on it or a HTTPS TLS. So yeah, cool. Any other things you'd like to talk about?
Just in general, or about this code?
about this. I mean, we can talk. No, like about this code. Yeah.
Not really.
Cool. Was this useful at all?
Great input. What's that?
Was this useful? This conversation?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Totally.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'll leave this code open for a little bit if you want to like copy and paste some things.
Yeah, sure.
But other than that, it was great talking with you. Thank you for submitting your code.
Thank you.
Yep. Later.
Later.
We did it, everyone. All right, we have two more. Two more to go. Mark is complete. All right, Lifecats is up next. Someone in the world has this GitHub repo. It is a reactive diary for your notes. Let's take a look at it. Casually throwing... I didn't throw them away. They're just sitting over there. Come on, everybody. Get those headphones back on. Wait, why? Nice, Fantasy Teapot. I like your highlighted message. All right, I think, yeah, we've gotten some follows. Let me acknowledge these, and we'll get back to reviewing. You're smarter than me. Thank you for the follow. Hello, Binary Soft. Much appreciated. What's up, Not Bearby? And Desert. Axe Inger, thank you. Indie Master, thank you for the follow. What's up? It's Dan Bennett. Hello. What's up, Yaki? Thank you for the follow. Hello, Ims. Thanks for following. Joppy, much appreciated. And Sharing Bias, thank you for the follow as well. Yeah, you're welcome, Computer Chip Dip. If that was interesting or useful, type 1 in the chat. If you thought that review was interesting or useful. Type 2 in the chat if you're just happy to be here. I guess you could be both. Type 12 in the chat if it's both. Two in the chat. Thank you, Emphy. That's good to hear. I appreciate you all. Thanks for hanging out with me. Nice. All right. What's the question? Does it really matter? This is kind of just like confirmation bias, I guess, because most people probably wouldn't be the negative. No, it was 1, if that was useful and maybe you learned something. 2, if you're just happy to be here. And 12, if it's both. And St. Place things, thank you for the hydrate. Cheers. Luma Code, thank you for the stretch. And Koozie, thank you for the hydrate. Cheers as well. And Defon, thank you for the stretch. Difference between let and const. I could, but I don't have time. The main difference between let and const is let variables can be reassigned. And what I mean when I say reassigned is if, for instance, I have this variable wow, and that's equal to wat, because I've used let later on in my code, much later, I could say wow equals how. This is valid code. If I were to make this a const, this would error assignment to constant variable because constant variables cannot be reassigned. And so the convention in most JavaScript places is that you use const for anything where you will not reassign it and let for everything else. Now, some people don't like that. Some people are just like, we should use let for everything and const should just be for constants because that's how they're used to it in other languages. But in JavaScript, typically const just means it's not reassigned, and it will potentially convey to other coders that, hey, because this is a const variable, I know that it cannot be reassigned. However, there's a gotcha, right? Assignment is different from mutating a reference. So let's talk about that. So if I have a constant variable wow that is an object that has the name Crazy Alex, much later, if I tried to say wow equals an object where the name is how, this gives us an error. This is assignment to a constant variable, right? I have this, and I'm trying to assign it to wow. That gives us an error. However, if I say wow.name equals now, how now, brown cow? This is fine. And the reason is because we're not changing the variable assignment, right? We're not trying to put a new variable into wow. We are just changing the data inside of it. And that's why some people don't actually like constant, because if you put a reference type inside of it, you technically can modify the value inside the reference type. I don't know. Who here is making a face at the screen because of the fact that this will not throw an error? So that's the main difference between the two. In general, const and let are block scoped variables. It's true for arrays as well. Yeah, arrays are reference types too. So if you have a const things equals an array, yeah, you can all day long later on in the code you could say things.push. Nerf. And this is totally fine because you're not changing the assignment, right? To change the assignment would be to say things equals a new array. Like this is changing the assignment, and this is an error because this is assignment to a constant variable. Yeah, that's the main difference between const and let. Both const and let are block scoped, meaning anywhere in your code that has curly braces, so like inside of this constructor, that's a block. Inside of an if statement, that's a block. That's pretty much it. So anywhere where there's curly braces in your code, if you define a let or a const variable inside those curly braces, that variable only exists and is only accessible inside of those curly braces. Yeah. What if you want to change the things inside of the array? What if you don't want to change the things inside the array either? You could potentially use object.freeze. I'm not super familiar with it, but object.freeze is a way to make it so that something cannot be modified. So object.freeze freezes an object. A frozen object can no longer be changed. Freezing an object prevents new properties from being added to it, existing properties from being removed, and prevents changing them in the enumerability, configurability, or writability of existing properties. So you could do object.freeze, and I believe you could do object.freeze on an array as well. Yeah, this isn't super common though. I really don't see this much in JavaScript code. This seems like this would mainly be behind the scenes in like library code. I've really never used this, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. Okay, this next review is for Lifecats. Who has my diary. It's a nice reactive diary for your notes. So, Lifecats, let me know in the chat. Yeah, you can't change you can't replace it. You can change what's inside of it. No worries, Lifecats. I don't think I really have time to do another audio chat. So if you just tell me like what is one thing you want me to focus on. I see right here it says API is broken for development. Everything okay for the build. But if there's one thing you want me to look at inside of your code, we'll go ahead and take a look at that, and I'll go ahead and clone this down. There's a server. The server uses body parser, Cores Express, MD5, Mongo, Mongoose, Morgan. Maybe about how the web is using the API. Okay, so how the front end is using the API. So here we have a front end. This is a React app, React front end. And let's start here. This gets the cookie. Cool. We're rendering a base router. Cool. And then let's look at the home component, because that's probably calling the API. So let's let you store the notes. Well, let's take a look at login. Does login redirect us? That's a lot. That's a lot of imports. No, take a look at account. Okay. Cool. So this is bringing in... So they're using Material UI. If you have not heard of Material UI... and hello, ZQQ. Welcome to the show. Material UI is a React component library. It implements material design. But this is like one of the most popular component libraries for React. I use this at work. And I've seen a lot of places that aren't really even using Material UI. So for instance, if you take a look at components and take a look at button... This is a material design button. However, it's highly customizable. So like they expose different ways of theming and modifying the components themselves. So a lot of React shops will use this library as just a base for all of their components, and they'll even change it to not even look like Material UI anymore. Well, not look like material design anymore. What's so great about Material UI? Just the fact that it's highly customizable. It's used by a lot of people, so the API is okay. Like it's easy enough to modify things to look the way you want. Whereas there are other component libraries where it's pretty difficult to actually modify things to look the way you want or do what you want to do. It's like they look a specific way and it's a bit hard to modify. You're supposed to customize material design, but there are still material design guidelines. We can get into this. So if you check out material.io, these are the guidelines, like the specification, the guidelines published by Google themselves. And they do have guidelines. They basically have like do's and don'ts for how things should look if you're trying to use material design. And it's absolutely possible to not follow those guidelines, and that's what I'm saying people do. People basically take these and completely override them to not look like material at all anymore, to an extent. But they just use the base fact that like this component library comes with a lot of different things built into it. I don't know. I digress. Let's look at this thing. And so you can see that this component is bringing in a bunch of components from Material UI. So we've got cards and buttons and contents and icons and stuff like that. One thing I'll mention really quick, Lifecats, is that I see this get cookie function in multiple places. You probably want to just extract that out and like reuse it. But yeah, let me start things up. I'm going to do this. Remove the package lock. We'll go into the server. Install dependencies. In the web, we're also going to remove the package lock. Now, typically you don't remove the package lock, but this is code I've never seen before and people I potentially don't know. So, as a slight precaution, I'm removing the package lock because it could be hiding nasty things. Get cookie could be replaced with local storage. Yeah, but then, well, okay, you're right. Like, if the cookie is readable by JavaScript, you might as well use local storage. Because one of the main benefits of using cookies would be to have HTTP only cookies where JavaScript can't access those cookies. But if JavaScript can already access them, then why not? Thanks for the Bitcoin? What? I did not give you Bitcoin. Did you install a Bitcoin miner on my machine when I did an npm install? Hacks. Use Material UI named imports to save those lines of performance. Actually, this is the thing. If you individually import each component, it reduces your bundle size. Because it is possible to do something like this, like import card and card actions from Material UI core. I believe you could do this. That's possible, but it's potentially not able to tree shake all the other imports that aren't imported. So by importing them individually, you actually do save on bundle size. This is still installing dependencies. Do I recommend swap batteries on a MacBook Pro 2015 or buy a new used one? So the thing about the 2015 MacBook Pro is they did have a battery recall. So if you get a 2015 MacBook Pro, you should look up the serial number online, and it's possible that you can just get the battery replaced for free if it's part of that recall and you still have the original battery. If it's older and it has already been replaced, then yeah, you might get a new one. It'll increase the lifetime of your laptop. I write my code, then I write tests. I don't really do TDD. Yeah. Not part of the recall. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hello, Neon Tuts. Okay, we have all our dependencies, so we can try to start things up now. Let's go into the server. Do we have a start script? Let's take a look how we can start this up. If we look at server, we look at index. I guess we just run the file. we look at... Yeah, I would add a start script here. It's pretty easy. You could just say start, and the way to start it is with node index.js. Refactor this to Next.js. There's a time and a place for Next.js, and this might not be it. So that starts the server. It says server started. That's good. This might also be it. I don't really know. But let's see, what port are we defaulting to? 8081. I thought I had something listening on port 8081. Let's see. No such file or directory. Oh, I see. So your backend server is trying to run the built version. Okay, but it shouldn't be needed. There's going to be one more code review after this, but this is going to be have to be a quick one. npm start, maybe. Yeah, let's go on a different port. Well, while that's starting up, let's say hi to all the new peoples. What would oh, I clicked it too fast. Timed out on your own local host. It's compiling. It's a React app. You saw all of those Material UI imports. It takes a second. Kane Ong, thank you very much for that follow. Alfredo Gamer, thanks for being here. What's up, Casasar, and Les Geek, and Hypnotic, and Sniper Noob, and GD Villa Fenez, and Headknock. Thank you all for being here. Very much appreciated. Oh, and also while I have your attention, on Saturday, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Pixel Logic Dev stream for a podcast episode. This. Go here. So, Pixel Logic Dev, also known as Alec, is starting a podcast on the future. Well, no, it's called Saturday Stand Up. But the first episode is actually going to be the future of live coding, entertainment, and such. Yeah, so definitely drop a follow on Pixel Logic Dev, because I'm not going to be streaming on my channel tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming. Well, he's going to be streaming. I'm just going to be a guest. So, drop a follow. Tune in tomorrow at about the same time I normally stream. Yeah, 11:30 a.m. GMT minus, or 11 a.m. GMT minus 6, around that time. Yeah. Yeah, I'll send out all my same notifications. I'm just going to point you to that stream instead. Yeah. LiveCats did an API. Okay, so let's create an account. First name, CJ. Last name, this. Password. Sign up. JSON.parse, unexpected character at line 1. Oh, I need to see how is it actually talking to the backend. All those emails are public. People, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can definitely find those emails. It's fine. It's fine. All right, let's see where it's trying to call the API. We're using fetch. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. And is it trying to proxy those requests? Do you have a proxy set up? Proxy localhost 8081. Yeah, so it should, right? Oh, I see. Let's take a look at the network. Did I say passwords? I meant emails. Okay. I am not going to be able to run this app, but let's just look at the code. So, did I see emails? Okay. All my passwords are public. LifeCats, if you're still in the chat, what is one thing you would like me to review inside of this accounts file? I'll take a look at that. We've got to move on to the next one, and then I'll be done. There's an issue in the README. Okay, let's take a look. Used a lot of templates. Yeah, like the thing is, like we could build the React app. I mean, technically, everyone's passwords are public, right? If you think about it hard enough, right? You may not know what they are. They're still technically public. Somewhere connection reset. Oh, I see. So this problem that I was just having, that's the problem that you're mentioning. Is the fact that you actually cannot talk to the API whenever you're in development. Is that what you're saying, Lifecats? That's what you would like me to look to fix potentially? Is that right? They might just have the 30-second timeout. Probably. Okay. I'll fix that. So here's what's happening. So right now on the front end, you do have basically eventually the front end code assumes that it's going to be deployed alongside the server, and then the server will actually serve it up. So if you look at the server code, there's probably a static serve in like a redirect for the root path. So if we take a look right about here. So this is serving the static files from the build folder, which is like the React built files, and then any requests that were not found get redirected to the React files themselves. This is basically how you handle using the history API in the browser router, so that it automatically serves up the right file. Okay, so that's great. But the issue is during development, it's not in the build folder because it's running via Webpack. So typically what you do is in the React app, you can set up a proxy to say, I think there might be more settings we need to set up here, but let's just look that up. So say create React app API proxy. Proxying API requests in development. Well, it looks like that's it. So you can actually just say proxy that. So tell the development server to proxy any unknown request to our API server. Add a proxy field to your package.json. Cool. It only has this effect in development and is up to you to ensure that all URLs point to the right thing in production. Proxy option is not flexible enough for new. Alternatively, you can configure the proxy yourself, enable cores on your server, use environment variables to inject the right server host and port into your app. This is how I do things. I don't really ever rely on a create React app proxy. We always have environment variables that point to a specific API server, and that's probably how I would do it. But let's see if we can get this proxy thing working. Let me start it all back up because I think I killed it. Well, yeah, so the React app is running, and then the backend is running too. Wait, what port was it? 2008. Let's just try doing a login. See. So it is trying to make a request to 3008/API/v1/login, but it says it's not found. And if we look at the response, it just says cannot post. And so it's possible that this is actually a An Express error? I'm curious if this actually is an Express error or if this is the Webpack dev server error. Let's see. Response headers, powered by Express. So this technically is the Express app. It just literally says that it's not found. Yeah. So we're trying to hit 3008. We're trying to hit API v1 login. Dangerously allow things you should not. Wait, what? So let's just look at the Express server. Somehow it's not responding to API v1 login. Is that the route we were trying to hit? Yeah, so when a post request comes in on API v1 login, that should be there. Okay. It's also quite possible that I have some other thing running on port 8081. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this listen elsewhere. I'm going to use port 4242. And then in the front end, I'm going to proxy this to 4242, like that. Let's kill that. Kill that. Start it up. So now, cool. This should try to proxy it to port 4242. Let's refresh this. Am I on a different port now? Yay! What's up, Master Lely? Or Master Ailey? Yeah, powered by is there, which means we know it's Express. We probably should add something like helmet so it removes that header. What's up, Montex? Oh, okay. I don't think I saw that. Wow. Wow. Hey, that worked. Cool. So this actually got the response here. So my suggestion is use a different port. So that's fine. And if we look at the console, then we actually don't see that error. Let me try signing up. Yeah. Cool. Wow. Wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Welcome back. So now I can create a new note. Great. Hello, world. Saved it. If I refresh, do I see it? Hey, what's up, James Q. Quick? Thank you very much for the raid. Shout out to James Q. Quick. Wow. Okay, so I don't know if that worked. Welcome to the Coding Garden. We are currently doing some code reviews. I have one more review to do after this. Doesn't look like it's saving. I do have Mongo locally. It could be like the connection string. Oh yeah, wait, let's see. Could not proxy request add post. Connection reset. Ah, this is the error. This is the error. What's up, James Q. Quick? So specifically add post. Let's take a look at the back end. We want to look at this add post request. Let's see what's going on here. We do a little debugging. So when the post request is made, we're going to create an ID. We do lots of things. We attempt to update. If there was an error, we don't do anything with it. So we're actually like swallowing the error if there was an error. So you definitely want to add some error handling here. Because it's possible that this fails and then we don't ever respond to the client at all. And I think that might be the case here. Yeah, because if we look at, like, technically this will work because I do have MongoDB running locally on my machine, so it should have been able to connect. But it's possible that something else in here failed. Here's what I'm going to do just real quick. We're going to wrap this in a try-catch just to see if something went wrong. It's also possible that something goes wrong in the callback, but for now, let's just do this. Take this code, put it in the try, like this, and then we're going to catch any error that might happen. And if an error happened, we're going to just do a... I mean, technically, you should set up an error handler to make this a lot more streamlined, so you can have error handlers in multiple places. But for now, I'm just going to res.json a message, which is the error.message. And then we'll also pass back the stack trace, so we can see where the code went wrong. Error.stack. Let's see what happens. So let's take a look at the network. Let's clear this. Let's try to create a new note. Save it. So we call add post. Oh, I need to restart the server because we didn't have nodemon running. Yeah, so that's the thing about the Trello clone. I wouldn't revisit it. I would just rewrite it because it's been so long. Why is it server? It's just a typo. This is not my code. Connection reset. API. Okay, I guess notes is failing as well, because it's trying to list notes here. So like technically this should be in a try catch as well. Wrong thing. Code reviews are okay. I'm getting a little tired. We have one more to do. Everything's failing. Yeah. So we're going to have a message. And then we'll pass back the stack trace as well. It's also possible that the error exists right here. Like this is potentially why you would want a generic error handler rather than doing this, because I'm just gonna write some very repeated code. So I'll say like if error is a thing, we're gonna do this. This is error.stack. Yeah. Error.stack. Error.stack. But otherwise, we're going to send back the notes themselves. So let's see if this does anything. Yeah, so the 28th, we're going to be doing some more reviews. I'll probably limit it to maybe only 2 or 3, because this is a lot to do in one stream, especially because I take so long. I'm really slow at this. I take too much time. Right, let's see. Let's clear that. Start again. Oh, there's a post request happening to notes on load. That's weird. Connection reset. Yeah, not quite sure. First of all, this static serve should probably go at the top. I don't think it's going to fix anything, but it's typically how I would do it is like before you register any of your routes, you would say that you want to listen for a static serve. And then this makes sense to go here because if none of the other routes match, then you do want to serve from the specific folder. I'm wondering if this is causing the routes to error out. And then the other thing you might want to do is instead of just assuming that there's never going to be an error, is you should account for errors. So in each of your request handlers, and actually let's just take a look at the ones that are being called. Like right now, for whatever reason, there's a post request to notes here. Yeah. Let's just see if this route is actually getting called. Test. Okay. For whatever reason, some of your front-end code is making a post request to /notes with the user's email address. Why is that? Oh, I see. So find one user that has that specific email. Yeah, it shouldn't be a post request, though. It should be a GET request. It is intended. Yeah, so if you are just returning notes, it should not be a post. That's okay, though. So find one user and then send back their notes. I see. And so this is responding with an empty array? Yeah, so it's responding with an empty array. Cool. Fetch tells you it can't send the body and the get. So let's see. So whenever we do add post, this is a post, the content type header, body is a stringified object. Yeah, the whole thing just crashes. The moment this post request happens, it just crashes. Cool. All right. I can't fix this. I could potentially take a look later. If you post on the Discord, somebody might be able to help you out, but I am done looking at this code. I appreciate your submission. Because there's a body. I wouldn't do that. I would use basically like the cookies or some sort of authorization type thing to let the backend know how it can get access to the notes. So this should be a GET request, and then you could access something like rec.user.email. And that user could come from some information in the headers or in the cookie, instead of having to actually make a post request with data like the user's email. You should be able to just get that from the cookie itself. That's okay. Okay. What is our last review? It's from Cheyenne. And I'll give you your points back because I didn't fix it. Cheyenne says, I created this COVID-19 tracker web app. Let's take a look. All right, this is going to have to be a quick one. Cheyenne, I apologize. It'll be quick. But let's just take a quick look at the app itself, and then I have to go. So, test fail. Here is the GitHub repo. Here's the website itself. Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure that they have some work to do, but this backend needs some authorization that would protect, like you can only request the notes for the logged in user, that kind of thing, rather than requesting the notes for anyone else. Yeah, there's definitely some work that needs to happen there. Cool. Well, thank you, EdCakes. I'm trying my best. But also, wait, let's load that. And you also get to keep your points, Cheyenne, because this is not gonna be a very thorough or good review, but we will take a look at it, because I don't want to leave you hanging. Cool. So this is a COVID-19 tracker. We'll do global. We have the total number of infected people. I'll be honest, I have not been keeping track. This is insane. Stop it, everyone. Wear your masks, stay home, wash your hands. Jeez. Okay. This is a pretty cool chart. Are you using... Is this Chart.js? Looks kind of like Chart.js. Yeah, we tried our best, Life Cats. It's pretty cool. Stop it, everyone. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's look at the United States. U.S. $5 million. What's up, Tin Van Monero? How's it going? Can somebody please review my tic-tac-toe game? We're about to end my stream, but thanks for dropping by, member of the Live Coders team. It's pretty cool. I like it. You have infected, recovered, and deaths. Nice little bar chart. It's great. Cheyenne, is there anything specific in the code you'd like me to look at? Let's say I only have 5 minutes. What would you like me to look at in 5 minutes? Don't look at the code. Seriously, don't look at it. Cursed Python code. We are number one. I mean, this is definitely not something you want to be number one at. Oh, buddy. What was that, 15%? No. 25% of all cases in the world are from the United States. Is that what that is? Yeah, if you check out the Live Coders team, if you go to livecoders.dev, or if you go to once you go to that website, there's like a link to a GitHub repo. It has all the requirements and information that you need to sign up if you would like to. 25% of cases, but 5% of the population. Yeah, ridiculous. Okay, what did Cheyenne say? Just look at the global state file. All right, let me look at that. I mean, I only have 4 minutes, so let's look at the source. We're going to take a look at... Oh, it's a React app. Very cool. Just basic React app. We have a country selector, cards, and chart. I like it. Oh, and then you have global state. So global state, I guess, this is the context API. So it's providing access to the global state to all of the components inside of it. So this creates a context, and then these components lower down can use that context. Let's take a look at context and then global state. Cool. Wait. Global context and global reducer. Are they in that folder too? Oh, I guess they are. Let's look at the global context. So the context is the thing that can be exposed to all the lower level components. So we create our context. Great. And if we look at our reducer, this is the reducer that handles all of the state updates for that context. So when we get the stats, we put them on state. When we get the countries, we put them on state. Similar. Very cool. So these are all just state updates. And then if we look at the global state, it has its initial state, and then this initial state is updated by that reducer, right? So we pass in the initial state here, and that it's going to get updated based on what gets dispatched. So we have get stats, which is a function that's actually going to call the API. Get region stats, which actually just filters the existing data. Interesting. Countries gets it from the API, and these ones as well. Cool. Yeah, I think the main thing I would do is potentially extract out these API requests. So right now you have API requests nested with dispatches. Hey, Argoff thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Argoffagadar. Did I say that right? Argoffagadar. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I would put these in a separate file just called like API, and then you could say like API.get regions, API.get countries, API.get daily stats. And that way you don't have like Axios requests directly inside of this context file here. And also you might even extract out these functions into like an actions file. So if you want to do it similar to like a Redux style, typically your actions are defined in a separate file. Yeah. No, but I think I'm going to pronounce it like that from now on. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Abracadabra. Cool. Yeah, because like you technically could define these functions inside of another function where you could invoke it to get access to the dispatch. Yeah. For Canada, I also show the stats for each state. Oh, I see. That's when this is called if it's for Canada. Cool. Yeah, and then the provider is what's going to make all this available to the lower level components. So this gets exposed here, and then we can see how it's consumed. Like if we take a look at like the chart, or if we take a look at the country selector, so the country selector is probably going to use context. So it's going to say use the context, and then we're going to get access to specific data from that context. So top level component is like the global state, or like the thing that provides the context, and then inside of that you have your country selector, which is the drop down, but that needs to get the list of countries from the context itself. So it's going to get that there. When the component is mounted, it does get the countries. Very cool. And then when the country is changed, it retrieves the stats for that specific country. Nice. So this is like the drop down handler. And then the chart would just need access to the data, right? Pretty simple. Or daily stats, I see. So get that stuff from the context, and then when it's mounted, get the daily stats and just print them out. Oh, I see. So if it's global, show daily stats. Otherwise, show the specific chart, the bar chart about that country. Cool. Okay, but back to the context. Let's see if Cheyenne said anything else. All right, see you later, ECM. Thanks for hanging out. No, that's it. We're almost done for today, too. Did Cheyenne say anything else? Not that. Just look at global state. Cool. That's where I'm at. I think this looks totally fine to me. I think the main thing that I might refactor is I would pull out these functions into their own API file, and then you might even pull out these files into like an actions file. Though this app isn't very big, so I think it's fine to have it here. It's not a big deal that it's all in one file like this. But you could technically extract it out. Let's see. I'm trying to think if you could combine some of these actions, like, because when I looked at the reducer is setting different types of states. So this one sets the stats property, this sets the country's property, this sets the regions and region stats property. Could you technically have a single case that sets all of these? I don't know if that makes sense, but instead of having to call multiple dispatches, you could potentially just call one. I don't know. Okay, and then Cheyenne is saying, I'm not sure if I filter the dropdown based on regions correctly. Let's see. So what we're trying to say is if I change this to something else, you want to make sure that you have the right data? Is that what you're saying? Oh, no. I see. No. When you go to Canada, there's a new dropdown. And let's say we want Alberta, Canada. That's what you mean. So, like, you want to make sure that this is filtered based on the item that's selected. I guess, like, if I choose US, do we get access to the US states? No, we don't. It's just the entire country. Is there anything else that's like Canada? So that's Canada overall. Oh, I see the issue. So I changed it to Canada, and then now we see the U.S. states. That's an issue. That's definitely an issue, and it potentially looks like some U.S. states are repeated. Okay, but regardless, let's see if I can get Colorado data. Oh, I see. California, Colorado. Nope. And are there any errors? I don't see any errors either. Okay. I have to go, but we'll just do a quick look over the drop downs here. So, yes. So we take a look at components, and we take a look at the country selector. We get the list of regions, right? So when the country changes, get the specific regions for that country. So in country selector, line 42 is how I filter the regions or states in Canada. So if the selected country is not global and it equals Canada, then Show the regions. Cool. Otherwise, wait. So how did how did this end up working for the United States? Like, it actually requested the regions for the US, but those aren't listed? Right? That's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, that is a ternary. So this basically says, if this is the case, render this, otherwise render nothing. Okay. Fortunately, I have to go. I didn't really have the time to like look through this. I'm gonna acknowledge all of the follows that we got. If not equals global returns, well, returns null. Yeah. But Mabadi, thank you very much for that follow. Elav, thank you for being here. Clumsy Toe, much appreciated. Exel, thank you for being here as well. Haitians in Tech, hello. Fiverr Ram, thank you for the follow. Inso, thank you for following. Krizisek, thank you for the follow. Chidas, thank you. Matt Frankus, much appreciated. Twitch, Vicent, Sent, and Wallenkhan, and Delaney, and Lexidon, and Sir Yogiwan, and Hat. Thank you all for the follows. I appreciate you. The chart title is not being correctly updated, so the numbers may be suspicious. Yeah, I'll have to take a look again later, Cheyenne. And I sent you your points back, so yeah. Yeah, you take a look at my schedule. It's there, twitch.tv/codinggarden/schedule. That's all the times I go live. And Samsonite, 42069. Is that a reference to Dumb and Dumber? Okay, thank you for the follow. All these happened. You're all good. Everybody gets their points back. Everybody gets their points back. When you first start programming, if else, yeah. Yep, so, yes. Reminder, tomorrow, twitch.tv/pixellogicdev, I will be live on this Twitch channel. So if you want to tune in, be sure to drop a follow. I'll be live roughly around 11 a.m. GMT -6. Around that time. I will also... I'll send all the same notifications, but I'm going to direct you there tomorrow as well. So tune in for that. It's just going to be podcast style. It's kind of somewhat of an interview of me, I guess. So if you have questions for me, you can probably ask them in the chat. But like questions about me, not questions, not technical questions. It's not going to be the same. It's not the same show. It's not the same show. All right, hey, what's up, St. Place? I'll see you around as well. Hey, Learn with Leon. Thank you very much for that Twitch Prime sub. Shout out to Learn with Leon. I was creeping your stream last night, but Learn with Leon is doing a like a Twitch free coding bootcamp thing. Check him out. Yeah. Free web development bootcamp for those affected by the pandemic. Thanks for dropping by. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Later. See you later, Greg. Don't go outside. It stinks like, oh, it's so bad. The world is falling apart. Like, there are so many wildfires. Okay, I gotta go. Don't think about that. Just keep on coding. Keep on coding, everybody. All right. Oh, no, it's not a cicada. This is a moth. Though, cicadas are out this time of year in my part of the world. Cool, but yeah, those are the raid messages. If you're not a sub, I'll bring back my screen. If you're not a sub, then this is your raid message. This one right here, which is pretty good. But if you are a sub, that's your raid message too. And if you want to get those raid messages, you can go to, not that. We can do this. You can go to this website right here. You saw 2 cicadas on one of your trees. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I need to get, so I don't know if TMI.js supports reply messages yet. I need to get that working in my overlay. But yeah, thank you everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I realize I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to do. I didn't get to provide the feedback I wanted to provide, but there's always next time. So wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And until next time, here is this. Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. always forget you can still hear me. But it's funny, right, that you can still hear me. We're gonna raid somebody, so stick around for that. I'm gonna throw some music on. Be kind wherever we go. Share the love. Drop follows. All that good stuff. Thank you, Sven. I appreciate it.